Bonjour à vous tous et bienvenue à ce 6e épisode de Disco Elysium. Mon nom est Raquel et j'espère que de votre côté, vous allez bien. Donc, au courant du dernier épisode, on a eu plusieurs revirements de situation. Tout d'abord avec Titus, qu'il pouvait pas nous parler, il était vraiment borné, il y avait rien à faire, jusqu'à temps qu'on réussit à le picocher un peu pour réussir à avoir un fameux... une fameuse information comme de quoi qu'il y avait eu un viol ou quoi que ce soit. Donc, ça serait pour ça qu'il aurait éliminé le fameux mercenaire. Donc, on voulait savoir c'était qui la fameuse victime. Se rend, réussit à l'avoir, à le gosser un petit peu puis l'avoir. Se rend sur le toit, rencontre la victime. Elle dit qu'elle n'a pas été violée. Redescend voir Titus. Réussit à avoir des informations de plus, réussit à avoir une bande, on est rendu là, on veut savoir qu'est-ce qui s'est passé, est-ce que la bande de Titus va nous donner vraiment des informations sur ce fameux viol-là, est-ce que ça a vraiment eu lieu ou non, on va le découvrir ensemble, je vous souhaite un bon visionnement. On va juste aller reparler à lui une dernière fois, à 9h, faut qu'on aille parler à l'autre en arrière.
It's you again. What is it?
On va juste aller voir si on a quelque chose d'autre qu'on peut y parler.
Again.
Ouais. Ah non, ok.
Good one, Titus.
Plus d'autres idées.
About fucking time.
Dans le congé. On peut écouter la bande. On était rendu là, il y avait une bande. Il nous avait donné une bande d'aveux du viol. Écoutez-vous-en pour écouter une bande magnétique. C'est-tu vraiment bon de faire ça en plein milieu de tout?
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
Ok, lire la bande.
You push Command Set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachon. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
Ah, ok.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
Ok, fait que ça s'est passé au harbor, au port. Intéressant.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too.
Ok, fait que lui, si c'est le gars qui a été pendu qui parle, c'est pas beau à voir, là.
Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally.
Ok.
I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style.
Ok. C'est pas tout à fait la même affaire. Il avait vraiment dit dans le texte rape. Donc c'est pas baiserie, c'est vraiment violerie. J'aime pas où que ça s'en va. J'aime pas où que ça s'en va.
Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
Ok, fait que c'est juste ça.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrête on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
C'était quoi ça tout à la fin, le silence?
End of recording.
Ok. Qu'en pensez-vous?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
Ok. Mais il a bien dit qu'il allait le faire. On ne peut trafiquer les mots qui sortent de la bouche de quelqu'un. Il m'a paru normal, il était juste en train de se défouler. Ouais, je sais pas. Il avait l'air... Je suis d'accord. Il m'avait l'air également ivre.
Still,
Le lieutenant observe la bande. Vous reconnaissez bien ce regard désormais. C'est son air soupçonneux.
There's more going on here than we know.
C'est qui ça, Corté?
Corty could be short for Kortenar, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work.
Ok. C'est quoi, Kohoi?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
Vous pensez qu'il y était?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
Ok, ouais, ce sera pas facile. Bon, ok, maintenant.
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
Mhm.
As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself back to the cheery radio again, spewing out beats like it's a Friday night. The contrast feels chilly, inappropriate even.
Ok, fait qu'on a fini avec ça. On n'est pas obligé de garder ça dans nos mains pour être vrai. C'est d'une inutilité incroyable. Ok, fait que là on pourrait aller parler avec l'autre fille en haut, mais j'ai d'autres plans. Il est passé 9 h. On sait que le gars dans l'immeuble en arrière revenait après 9 h. C'est lui qu'on s'en va voir, mes amis. Let's go. Parce qu'il y avait de l'air quand même à en savoir quand même pas pire sur le meurtre. Donc ce serait intéressant de savoir qu'est-ce qu'il sait. 9h01. On est parfait. Voyons, la lueur bordeaux et de la pollution s'élève à l'est. Vous entendez le bourdonnement de la circulation au loin, la nuit tombe sur la ville. Il est juste là en haut. Non, on va parler à lui.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
Le jeune homme au balcon vous adresse un sourire éclatant, avant de tirer une nouvelle bouffée sur sa cigarette.
It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight. And his shirt is still unbuttoned.
On a suivi votre indice. On a suivi votre indice. On a trouvé la clé juste sous cette pierre.
Beautiful.
Répond-il en souriant, tandis qu'il vous regarde, une lueur brille dans ses yeux.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
Oh boy. Je ne suis pas venu rectifier le tir, je suis venu faire un carton. Honnêtement, j'essaie simplement de rien faire foirer.
Beautiful.
Répète-t-il. Un lampadaire tout proche projette des ombres sur son menton, rehaussant ses pommettes saillantes.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
What? Il indique que de la tête la porte 28. On est vendredi soir, j'ai l'impression d'être vendredi. Pourquoi je voudrais rencontrer votre ami? Très bien, je lui parlerai, mais d'abord, c'est avec vous que je veux discuter. J'ai des tonnes de questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
Ah bon?
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one.
Besides, I've got to run.
Pourquoi?
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
Filez où?
To the city.
Il fait un geste
It's a
vague
beautiful
dans
night.
des rocades au loin.
A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body.
Seulement si vous me promettez qu'on se reparlera, c'est important.
Something
Hey,
flutters
Spicy,
in the
comment ça va?
corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
Plein de petits spooky. Ça va bien, merci. Content que ça aille bien de ton côté, mon cher.
We'll talk. Just not tonight.
Ok. Il passe une main dans ses cheveux.
Take care, alright?
Wow, ajoute-t-il avec un nouveau sourire désarmant avant de disparaître dans la nuit. Wow, ok. Allons-y, Kim. Nous devons interroger son ami du dimanche.
Right after you.
Il indique de la tête la porte qui vous fait face. Wow, ça a été rapide, ça. Ça, c'est des tâches qu'on avait dans le lundi qui sont parties. Ok. Ouais, c'est ça. Fait que c'est ceux-là et ça. Il y a quelque part là-dedans, là. On a trouvé qui a appelé pour signaler le crime. Ça aussi, c'est vrai, c'était l'autre fille en haut, Crash G. Il a la misère avec son nom. C'est pas la première fois que vous allez m'entendre le maganer. On a beaucoup trop de points. Beaucoup trop de points. C'est là-dedans qu'on peut faire des verrouillés. On apprend quoi? Autocritique rigoureuse, non je veux pas... ordinaire, ça c'est triste. Qui est -2 en courant intérieur, ça. Ah oui, le groupe tactique anti-objet. J'aime bien. Ah, -2 de douleur transcendée, ça fait mal. Durée de l'intériorisation, c'est juste 2h15. Jetez un œil à vos mains, vous voyez tous ces bleus, toutes ces petites cicatrices. Voici l'exemple parfait. Le monde matériel est un frein pour vous. Conteneurs, boîtes aux lettres, portes, chaises, tout autant d'ennemis. Ils l'ont toujours été. Les atomes eux-mêmes font partie de la conspiration, prenant des formes... Oh, nice! T'as réussi à avoir des billets d'avion pour ton voyage? C'est vraiment nice. Vraiment nice. Tu t'en vas dans quel coin? Si c'est pas trop indiscret. Vous êtes comme de l'énergie captive dans un corps. Un esprit prisonnier de la matière. Libérez-vous. Dézinguez ce réverbère. Montrez-lui à quel point les objets n'ont aucun intérêt. Oh non. Tahiti, on y va dans 2 mois. Nice. Ça, c'est vraiment cool. J'ai jamais été dans ces coins-là. Une revue commerciale trimestrielle. Ok, il y a plusieurs affaires qu'on peut interagir avec. Un cendrier vide. Vous pouvez le constater, les affaires du gouvernement nous conduisent un peu partout dans Rivachol. Ok, de la vaisselle trempe dans une marmite. Un chapeau de samaran. On regarde dans les trucs, là. C'est quoi que j'ai? Plus 1 réactivité, -1 rhétorique. Puis là, c'est... Ça me donnerait... Plus 1 logique, -1 suggestion. Ça fait drôle. On le laisse dans le juste pour le trip. Un super billet à baldaquin. Fait que le voyage avait été annulé à cause de la COVID. Une vieille photo du même appartement datée de l'année 1. Faisait-tu longtemps que ça a été annulé? Une peignoir en soie du dragon. Tabarnouche, on va se transformer. Art dramatique. -1 en électrochimie. Non, je le veux pas, merci. Les mitaines. L'électrochimie. Ça compte. C'est plus 1. Ah, plus 1 les deux. Oh. C'est quoi qu'ils font mes gars, moi, présentement? Plus 1 clair-obscur, puis ça, c'est quoi? Plus 1 électrochimie, ok. Dépôt de peinture sur une couche de vieux journaux. Il nous reste juste à y parler. Let's go.
You have acquired the hat. Keep it, officer. It looks good on you.
Ok. Ouais, en fait, tu peux équiper pas mal d'affaires là, dans le jeu. Là, je peux pas quitter. Je peux pas quitter parce que je peux pas aller voir mes équipements parce que je suis dans un dialogue. Mais ça va venir modifier tous ces trucs-là. Fait que quand tu modifies ces trucs-là, ça te donne des bonus au lancer de dés et tout que t'as. Fait que c'est quand même cool. Je sais pas c'est quoi ça, là. Je sais pas pourquoi non plus il y a un genre de truc en haut de sa tête. Oui, j'ai pas de soucis, les gars. Ouais, c'est vraiment intéressant. C'est comme un RPG de détective. En fait, ça devrait être ça. Rhétorique qui est rendu bien gros. On pourrait avoir plein de rhétorique. Pour vrai, on devrait quasiment augmenter un peu l'instrument physique. Bander vos muscles et profiter d'un corps sain. Je sais pas c'est quoi. Les trucs là. C'est sûrement des bonus qu'il y a sur nos vêtements, j'imagine, ou des affaires de même. Ouais. Même si je suis pas trop là-dedans. On va juste l'améliorer une fois. Non, réinitialiser. Je veux pas l'améliorer 2 fois, juste une fois. Ok.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason, you feel this man is your superior. Superior, but he's not in the command chain.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government.
Bon.
I work for the Institute of Price Stability on assignment from Sur la Clé.
Ça va bien? Ben, c'est un représentant du gouvernement.
I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot. Yes, make it clear you're the one setting the terms here.
J'ai vraiment l'impression que c'est un jeu français. Faudrait vérifier. Parce que quasiment toutes les voix des personnages sont en français. Tu sais, la ville, c'est Rivachol. En martinaise. Fait que c'est fait logique. C'est logique.
Yeah, let's fuck with him. Who does he think he is? Assisting you?
Désigner le lit. Mais avant tout, il faut absolument que je jette un œil à cette superbe balle de quin. Montrer le peignoir en soi. Mais avant tout, dites-moi où vous avez déniché ce magnifique peignoir en soi. Désigner le chapeau de sous-marin. Oh wow. Nous y viendrons. Mais pas avant que vous me racontiez l'histoire de ce chapeau sous-marin noir. Ça, c'est un peu... Ah ouais, le lit.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame industrial. It's very comfy. That's really all I can tell you about it.
Ok, il forme un petit doigt avec... Il forme un petit doigt avec ses doigts de l'air frais descend du balcon.
That didn't work at all. What was that? You were supposed to fuck with him, not compliment the decor. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
Vous avez assisté au lynchage?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Oh. Est-ce parce que vous êtes le coupable, Monsieur Vildrouin?
Because I did it?
Arrêtez de me prendre pour un con, les gras de papier. C'était vous, pas vrai?
What's the meaning of this? Is your colleague here trying to arrest me?
He sounds almost mocking, saying those words. Arrest me.
There is no meaning, sir. Please excuse my colleague. This case has been a great strain on his nerves.
Back off. Now. This man has diplomatic immunity. It serves no good to accuse him of a crime he didn't commit.
Bon, ok, ma raison. Je suis navré. Je le suis plus moi-même dernièrement.
Well, I can certainly understand that. That hanging was a surreal play. Everything since then has been too. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one.
Ok.
That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
Qui ça allait? Pouvez-vous le décrire?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez.
C'est européen cherchant ce mot.
Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
Combien était-il?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
Y avait-il des costauds parmi eux, genre 200 kilos bien pesés?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
Ok, qu'est-ce que t'as passé ensuite?
I went back inside.
Yes, back inside. Keep yourself safe from the killing.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
C'était des hommes, des femmes?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
Ils ont été inspirés par la langue française, mais ce n'est pas français du tout. Damn! Le pire, c'est qu'ils ont des mots très, très bien prononcés en français. C'est quand même très, très, très étonnant. C'est quoi les origines? Ont-tu marqué dedans ce que tu as trouvé? Donc, juste des hommes, je présume. Mais encore une fois, je les voyais pas très clairs.
but we are fairly certain the lady driver was present.
Le lieutenant parcourt son note. Vous êtes sûr qu'au moins l'un d'entre eux n'était pas une femme?
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember.
Mhm. Quelle était leur ethnicité?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
Ok. Que s'est-il passé ensuite?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
Comment ça? Il ne s'est rien passé. Un homme s'est fait lyncher.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Si tu le mets en VF, c'est impossible. Non, en fait, il est déjà techniquement en VF. Mais c'est juste le texte qui traduit. Puis j'ai mis le voix en français, puis le jeu en français. C'est juste le texte qu'ils ont traduit. C'est un bug. Peut-être pas, j'ai aucune idée. Ça n'a pas d'importance. Ça fait déjà comme 4 ou 5 streams qu'on est sur ce jeu-là. Puis c'est bien parfait comme ça. C'est assez simple comme ça, puis c'est bien correct. Mais ouais, j'avais pas vu. Quand j'avais mis en français, j'avais été voir dans les paramètres et tout ça, puis j'étais comme, pourquoi c'est pas en français? Pourquoi la langue n'est pas en français et tout ça? Puis j'avais été voir sur internet, puis ça a été dit qu'il y avait juste le texte qui était traduit. Qu'il n'y avait pas une voix française nulle part. Peut-être que c'est un fan-made ou je sais pas quoi, mais... Whatever, c'est pas grave. Vous avez raison, c'est étrange.
I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
Il trouve rien.
All I can say is that it was late.
Donc, que je résume, vous n'avez pas réellement assisté à la pendaison, c'est ça?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Eh ben, belle perte de temps.
I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance.
Mhm. Que vient faire un officiel tel que vous à la Martinez?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Très bien, mais que faites-vous ici, dans cet appartement?
Ah, well, I'm renovating it.
You're right.
It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
Donc, vous êtes une sorte de bureaucrate?
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Inter.
Tu sais, c'est ça, le sur la clé est très bien dit. C'est quoi cette communauté internationale?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
C'est ça qui m'a vraiment mis en doute, parce que, tu sais, même communauté internationale, là... L'international aurait pu être clairement en anglais. C'est quoi la stabilité des prix?
It is the most important thing.
Ça ne me parle pas du tout.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment.
Je vois l'inspiration qu'ils ont pris puis essayer de prendre l'accent français.
Which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
Ok. Vous ne répondez pas du tout à mes
The
questions.
coalition believes in the importance of informing
Il
the
s'en
public
fout ben
about the
raide.
benefits of the price
Ah, fou,
stability.
elle.
Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Avec plaisir, donnez-moi une
A
prospectus.
sound monetary policy is essential
J'aurais pas dû faire
for
ça.
addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today.
Ah, que
That's too
non!
bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
Parlez-moi de Sur la clé.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Ok, pourquoi Revachol est-elle la coqueluche de Sur la clé?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
J'ai déjà entendu parler de cette morale interne, mais j'aimerais bien en entendre davantage.
It's the International Organization for Moralists. Hence, Moralist International.
Hmm.
The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
Donc, quand j'ai dit que j'étais un laquais du capital, j'aurais dû dire que j'étais un soupipe de la morale interne?
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone's bitch. Besides, there are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Et il a utilisé un mot plus fort que juste sous-fifre. Comme des rachards. Êtes-vous un moraliste?
But of course.
Suis-je un moraliste?
Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values?
Oui, effectivement. Ah, c'est pas ici. Oui, si t'offres des abonnements, ça donne une certaine partie au streamer puis une certaine partie à Twitch. Mais c'est pas nécessaire, by the way. c'est super agréable, merci de vouloir porter la chaîne et tout ça, mais c'est pas une nécessité, disons. Tu peux garder l'argent pour toi, puis la vie, c'est en fait coûte assez cher que... Ok, lieutenant, êtes-vous un moraliste?
Me?
I don't know.
I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Revachol.
A very moralist answer.
Ah, qu'est-ce l'homme?
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
Mais qu'est-ce qu'un monde normal et stable?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Orangnier, Sur-la-Clé.
J'ai pas vraiment l'impression que Martinez soit très normal ou stable.
Martinez? No. Martinez is...
Tabarnouche, je
something
tombe.
else.
Non, fais pas ça. C'est bien trop dispendieux, ça. Minimum, right? Là, le point, c'est que... tu vas toutes les offrir à toi-même, là. Je sais pas qui y a d'autre dans le stream. Il y a juste toi qui parle dans le chat. Et le reste de Revachol, ça fait partie du monde normal?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy.
Après mon voyage, tu verras. On verra rendu là. J'étais un peu envieux, par exemple, de ton voyage. Ça fait tellement longtemps que j'ai pas été dans le sud ou quoi que ce soit, là. Les seuls voyages que j'ai faits, c'est au Mexique et à Cancun. Très beau voyage, by the way. Super beau voyage que j'ai eu là, dans ces coins-là. Mais, ouais, ça fait très longtemps que j'ai pas voyagé. Mais là, avec 2 enfants, c'est légèrement plus difficile. En bas âge, là, bien sûr. Ok.
But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Il vous adresse un hochement de tête approbateur. Ok. Le moralisme, c'est une idéologie pour les occupants étrangers. Revachol doit être gouverné par les Revacholiens. La démocratie n'est qu'une fumisterie tant que la classe ouvrière étouffe sous la botte du capital. C'est comme si chaque fois que j'en parlais à quelqu'un, je choisissais l'option D. Aucune des réponses précédentes. C'est ça le moral. Ça serait malade, ça. C'est pas ça qu'on a fait pendant tout le long. Ah, je pense pas être un moraliste. Le moraliste a l'air moindrement ennuyeux. Je suis un manque d'action.
Do you think peace is boring? What about prosperity?
Ah ouais, ça m'a l'air chiant à mourir.
My friend, that is only because you have never known the alternative.
Peut-être.
And I pray you never do. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude.
Je suis le flic de
Was there
l'apocalypse.
anything else you wanted to ask?
Fait que je voudrais prospérité puis paix. Parlez-moi de Ranger.
Oranje is an exemplary
Oranje.
nation who, as a core member of APIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur la Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
Ok, that's it. Lequel de ces deux pays représente le plus l'EPI?
As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur la Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur la Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions.
Ok, d'accord, mais en dehors de l'EPIS, que représente Régnier?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
Dites, vous pourriez parler comme le commun des mortels
About what?
au sujet de Régnier. Décrivez-moi juste à quoi ça ressemble.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
Oh, wow. J'ai ma dose d'économie, changeons de sujet.
Whatever you wish, officer.
Vous pouvez me parler de votre ami?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him.
Non, non.
But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
Bon, c'est quoi Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue. That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
Bon. Non, on repose pas des questions par rapport à l'EPIS, là, on en a entendu parler. Mais je ne suis plus avancé, je suis pas plus avancé concernant Kedra. Il fait chaud là-bas, froid, entre les deux.
It's warm. It's also known for its mandarin trees and dust storms from Supramundi.
Notre personnage s'en fout bien raide de ce qui se dit. La situation économique, la situation politique, il s'en fout bien raide. Il veut juste savoir qu'est-ce que c'est là-bas.
Kedra's an emerging market, but it still has a long way to go. Maybe that's why my friend's ménage decided to immigrate.
Comment êtes-vous devenus amis?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
En gros, lui, il faut qu'il y ait une catastrophe pour devenir ami avec quelqu'un. Je viens de voir qu'il me manquait pas mal de santé. On fera pas exprès de rester dans le trou. De quoi parlez-vous? C'est pas comme ça qu'on devient amis.
Au contraire, it's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
Vous n'avez toujours pas révélé son identité.
Sorry, who?
Là, je jette un coup d'œil rapide à sa montre. Votre ami est le fumeur sur le balcon. Vous étiez en train de parler de lui.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our
C'est
civilization.
louche qui veut rien dire. D'accord, mais quel est son véritable nom?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
Donc tout ce que vous pouvez me dire sur lui, c'est qu'il est ici pour étudier les arts.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
Quelle sorte d'art?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
Que faites-vous seul dans cet appartement?
I'm just enjoying the view.
Ben oui, sourit l'homme désignant la tête la fenêtre. Quelle vue, il fait noir dehors,
Listen,
dit-il en levant la main. Quoi? J'entends rien du tout.
the Insulindian Bay.
Ah, comment ça?
This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen.
Mhm.
But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
D'accord, mais ça explique pas qu'est-ce qu'il fait là pour autant, right? Ça fait aucun mot de sens. J'étais en train de m'intéresser à votre ami.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
J'avais autre chose en tête.
I'm all ears, officer.
Merci, j'ai tout ce qu'il me faut.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Assez vite, pourquoi est-ce qu'on ne se reparlerait plus jamais?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen.
Mhm.
And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
Merci du tuyau, mais j'ai terminé ici.
Of course. I'm glad I could help.
Bon, il y avait rien vraiment d'intéressant finalement là. C'est triste. Je vais garder le chapeau. C'est la seule affaire qui était de bon dans cette passe-là, c'est le chapeau. Le chapeau, puis même peut-être le ça. Au lieu de la veste, esprit de corps, frisson. C'est parfait. Il manque juste le bas. Je vais revenir avec ça. J'aime mieux les bonus que ça confère. Ça nous a mené à rien. Mais on peut aller réinterroger Crash G. Puis je sais qu'à chaque fois que je dis son nom, je le détruis sans bon sens. Mais c'est pas grave. Il va encore chialer, mais qu'on ait touché que je cours beaucoup trop. Et là, ça, c'est une mouche qui a passé. Ce serait malade de pouvoir chanter, ce projet. Je peux toujours pas interagir avec... Hey, on peut interagir avec la porte. Parler?
You see a heavy steel
Ah,
door
ok.
with a prominent
Laissez faire. J'ai rien dit. C'est exactement la même affaire qu'on fait depuis le début, au final. Cours encore! 9h48. Pas de super. Et là, on a accès à cette place-là, puisqu'on a déjà eu accès. On a-tu accès encore aux médicaments?
This medicine cabinet.
On a rien. Est-ce qu'on peut réessayer le truc ici?
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Wait a minute. On l'avait pas fait? Ah, je l'avais pas monté. C'est quoi j'ai monté de bord? C'est le cours intérieur que j'ai monté. Pourquoi j'ai monté ça? Ah! Enfin, ils sont là! Tantôt, on avait vraiment un bug, il était rien marqué, il y avait juste les chiffres. Fait que c'est peut-être pour ça qu'on n'a pas monté à bonne affaire, bâtard. Non, man. C'est sûr qu'on se pète la gueule encore. Bien ça. Faut que je sorte du dialogue. Ouais, rentrer.
The same
Eh oui,
small,
ok.
heavy door. No lock in
C'est
sight.
ça, c'était sûr que je me pète la gueule encore.
You give it another, more ferocious kick. The door still does not
Hey!
move.
J'ai pas perdu de vie encore.
Demolish
Come on.
the place.
J'ai parlé trop vite. Allez-y à fond, la femme tire une bouffée sur sa clope et hoche la tête.
I don't see how this is going to give new results. There must be another way in there.
Below, in the union box, was there something behind the window? In the hawthorn branches, brushing against the glass.
Quoi?
No one knows. It is a fleeting feeling. It could be that your eyesight is still too poor to notice it behind that window.
Quelle fenêtre? Oui, quelle fenêtre? En dessous, dans le box du syndicat, il n'y avait pas quelque chose qui ferait... Ah ouais. Ah ouais, c'est vrai. Ouais, c'est bon. C'est vrai.
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
Ça, non, c'est jamais cool, ça. C'est jamais cool. Titus Harding m'a remis un enregistrement sur lequel le défunt prétend vouloir commettre un viol.
She puts her coffee cup down
Oh.
with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Moi, je vais prendre ma coupe de café maintenant.
This does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions, only that he was never bad to me.
Ok, un léger sourire se pose sur son visage entre les deux passes. Ok. Sur la bande, c'est très clairement vous qu'il dit vouloir prendre pour cible.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
Bonne
It's
question.
intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Elle hausse les sourcils. C'est exactement ce qu'il a dit.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
C'est à nouveau la tasse. Oh boy.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Oui, il a parlé de Kohoi, oui.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Ok. Pourquoi dire des trucs ainsi? Pour jouer les machos?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things, then integrated them into his idea of normalcy, to keep on living, until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Son personnage?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that.
Lily?
He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
What? Il quittait pas son armure ni pour dormir ni pour se laver, c'est bien dégueulasse. Ça vous branche ce genre de truc?
We're all scraping up any happiness we can find, officer. Going around with our little scouring sticks. You, your first love, Mr. Kohoi here.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy.
Oh,
I
il avait de l'air
guess.
heureux.
At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
Ok.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Ok, elle a l'air d'être prête. Si vous êtes disposé, j'aimerais que vous m'en disiez plus sur la victime.
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name.
Elle l'a appelé
I
Lily?
just called him Lely.
Ouais, c'est ça.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Ok, fait on sait qu'il vient de Lelystad.
Lelystad. That's a good start.
Et je note l'information dans son calepin.
We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
Quel âge avait-il, mademoiselle?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no,
Ok, cette évocation l'a fait sur
we
elle.
even celebrated his birthday like some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
We
Effectivement.
were slightly off then. Thank you for clearing it up.
Le lieutenant prend la note de la correction dans son calepin.
The adversary one.
Ok, la couleur de ses yeux.
Blue. Light blue. They were like
C'est repris, les mes yeux
little blue
clos.
galaxies, you know?
Mhm.
It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing.
Faites ça
I
sur sa
do him an
cigarette.
injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice.
C'est pas ce que je m'imaginais.
Very surprising, what with all the scarring.
Exact.
It was quite something, watching him speak.
C'est ce que je disais. C'est pas ce que je m'imaginais, sa voix douce et tout, puis elle l'a rajouté par après. Très surprenant, à cause des cicatrices et tout ça.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth.
Mhm.
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
It's clear she was very much attracted to him,
Clairement.
and still is.
Vous le trouvez séduisant?
Of course. He was the most strangely beautiful man I've ever been with. And I mean that.
Un léger frisson court sur sa peau.
And now he's dead. A pity.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember.
Mhm.
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
Intéressant. Moi aussi, je lui ai touché les cheveux.
Oily, isn't it? We have that in common now.
Oh, wow. Le tatouage qu'il avait, qu'est-ce qu'il signifie?
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
Vous les aimez bien?
Quite a lot, yes.
C'était ses états de service?
Sure, service history. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
Crémer près des filles? Comment ça?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?"
Elle lève un doigt à l'ongle pointu et de désigner un tatouage imaginaire en forme d'étoile.
And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
Et la femme, c'était vous?
Oh yeah.
Pourriez-vous nous dire ce que tout ça veut dire exactement? Lui tendre la photo.
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Oh, intéressant. Elle se ressort du café.
Go on.
Ouais, moi aussi.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people on the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
C'est drôle, cette histoire.
It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. A change of topic?
Mhm. J'ai une question qui va vous paraître étrange. Diriez-vous qu'il a connu une mort agréable?
Why do you ask?
Il n'a pas de surprise. C'est juste une impression que j'ai eue. Ne vous formalisez pas.
Well, it's wrong. He had too many drinks to down and too many bad things to do. Couldn't tap out just yet.
Pensez-vous, mademoiselle, que le communiste l'ait tué?
Is the Union communist? They're a couple of shades pinker than that, no? Social Democrats? They're not hardcore in that way, is what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
What are we talking about anyway? This politics shit is a lot in the morning. Is it even morning?
Il est 22h15, il est pas le matin.
I think she's just tired. She doesn't know what you meant by that. And can you blame her?
Non, effectivement, c'est très bizarre
You
comme
could
question.
blame her. A little. It was a pretty straightforward question that she refused to answer.
On fait des recherches de traces de sperme. On fait...
Good for you.
Ok.
What do you think it will tell us?
I don't know how a semen sample works, officers. How many days after intercourse does it have to be? I don't even know if he had sex with someone else. We didn't go steady.
This is one of her maneuvers. The others are fast asleep, as always. It's hard to say what the truth is.
On va finir avec... Où est l'Elystad? L'Elystad, l'endroit.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Ok. Vous veniez tous les deux de Ranier?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrek. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex, alcohol,
Mhm.
speed, probably also sildenafil.
Ouais, let's go. Hein, la drogue et tout. Je pense qu'on en a terminé avec nos questions.
All right.
Le lieutenant range la feuille dans son calepin de notes et observe la jeune femme quelques instants.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Encore? Nous en reparlerons à une autre occasion, mademoiselle.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
Si c'est elle qui... si, c'est ce qu'elle a dit. Alors oui.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old?
Où veux-tu en venir?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder?
Comme si j'avais bu 45 000 litres d'alcool.
You could ask either one of them.
Ok, mais à votre avis, j'ai quel âge?
Hein?
Je n'est pas certain d'avoir compris correctement. À votre avis, j'ai quel âge?
How old? 58?
Et si vous avez tort, on a tous les deux mal évalué l'âge du défunt. Il avait 40 ans.
42. And he was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week.
J'ai l'impression que je me décompose depuis plus longtemps que ça.
On the bright side, you've been getting a lot of exercise lately.
Je cours tout le temps. Les ravages dans le goule sont au moins aussi graves que ceux de la mort, le temps catégorique.
There's silence. Then a little more. Here it comes. Mercy.
Sure, you're 42. Let's go?
Il voulait juste me donner raison.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Envoie la sauce, la vérité me fait pas peur.
To the laboratorium.
Au laboratorium? Le générateur de date de naissance? Vous avez, Vous avez l'air d'avoir 58 piges et votre corps en accueille 60. Votre esprit semble avoir vécu un jour ou 100 ans. Les jours... les jours comme les siècles sont plus longs qu'ils ne le devraient. Mais alors, depuis combien de temps cette chose attachée à votre conscience foule-t-elle la croûte terrestre? Il est temps de vous triturer. Ça nécessite une gorgée. Je vous assure qu'il n'y a rien dans mon café, by the way. Ok. Il est temps de vous triturer les ménages, l'ancien. Tabarnouche. Quand et où êtes-vous né? Ok. J'ai compris. On l'intériorise, les amis. Fait qu'on les intériorise les deux, right? Intéressant. Ok. La méga compile du canardeur. Parlait Titus du méga compile du... Ok. Ouais, la fameuse bande qu'on a écoutée, la bande sonore. Ouais, on a des nouveaux niveaux. Yay. Ok, on dégage de là. C'était pas très clair, hein, si je m'en allais. Ouvre la porte. Let's go. Juste voir. En même temps, la carte. Oh mon dieu, il y a plusieurs choses que je peux faire. Le mur derrière la cour, la balle fracturée. Oh! Je peux faire la balle fracturée! Le camion abandonné. Je sais même pas c'est où le camion abandonné. La machine à glace. Tommy le homme. Tommy le homme. Les haltères. Pourquoi les haltères? Je vais aller encore. La jauge. Le jauge cabot, je me bats contre lui. Puis la fenêtre du café. Perception. Fenêtre du café. En bas. Mais je peux faire la balle. Et où la balle?
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. A rifle.
Oh,
Revolutionary
succès!
period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique.
La marque!
The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theater of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago.
Okay.
Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you, the dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber.
Quelqu'un fabriquait-il encore ces fusils?
No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around,
Okay.
usually broken. The quality was appalling.
Qui utiliserait un fusil Belmagrave à notre époque?
Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order.
J'ai tellement peur que ce soit juste une question de suicide, là, puis que les autres aient juste profité du fait qu'ils ont trouvé le gars pour le tabasser, puis tout en pensant qu'il était inconscient. Dans le fond, le gars, il a juste mis la carabine en dessous de lui de même, puis il a tiré. J'ai, tu sais, genre, juste comme en dessous. En tout cas, pas si c'est clair, là, mais. Puis il est arrivé, genre, le canon juste ici, là, dans l'intersection de la tête, là. Tout fait là. Puis il a juste tiré vers le haut. Puis la balle a comme pas sorti de la tête. J'ai comme un peu peur de ça.
What are you thinking? Bullet?
Je crois savoir d'où ça vient, d'où ça provient.
Okay. And?
Le tir provenait vraisemblablement d'un fusil Belmagrave.
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Ravachol, really.
C'est sans doute une bonne chose.
I have to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took the advice of criminologists last century and banned the use of breech-loaders in peacetime. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle-loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
Quel avantage se faire buter?
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the investigation.
Est-ce que la victime aurait pu fréquenter des guerrilleros étrangers? Est-ce que des bangeurs de Jamrock surarmés auraient empiété sur Martinez? Oui, et cette trame est un mystérieux avec cette antique balle. On dirait bien que c'est un fan d'antiquité que nous cherchons.
It doesn't seem that likely, but we'll check out all possible leads. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Ouais, ok. Good. La balle n'a rien d'autre à nous apprendre pour l'instant. Ou du moins, on a fini pas mal la balle. Trouver l'arme du crime, on sait que c'est un 4,46. D'accord. Les haltères, man. J'aurais aimé ça avoir la carte de la ville. Je sais pas où la trouver. Ça doit être comme l'insigne. Elle doit être à côté de l'insigne. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait d'autre, là? On va-tu se coucher? On va-tu se coucher? Il est quand même rendu tard, non? Ah non, on va parler à Titus, hein. Tant qu'il est en bas. D'un coup, des fois, qu'il mourrait dans le jeu. D'un coup, des fois que... La vire en arrière, là. Elle me gosse.
Again, you find yourself looking at that big old window.
Regardez par la fenêtre. Vous avez vu une porte mystérieuse il y a longtemps que vous êtes ici. Cour intérieur a dit que de descendre. Cour intérieur vous l'a dit.
There's a yellow
Oh,
ribbon tied
yeah!
to one of the branches.
Let's go!
Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key.
Oh, t'as peu. Un ruban jaune est accroché à l'une des branches, un jaune clair, pâli par le temps, un éclat coloré par la pénombre du loquet, pendu à ce dernier une clé de bronze.
It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Quelqu'un a caché une clé dans les buissons.
Huh?
Le grand costaud regarde derrière lui. Tu pouvais me laisser me glisser histoire que je puisse la
I
récupérer?
don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The Hawthorne's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
Ouais, ouais.
With a loud thud, the
Ouais,
old
c'est qui, lui?
man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table to you.
What? Prendre la clé,
The
certain.
key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down.
C'est lui
in
qui est là qui me l'a
silence.
donné, là.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Oh! Merci.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
Ok.
There is a silence around this man's words. Unlike Titus, they're afraid of him. That's the type of respect he commands.
Quelqu'un sait pourquoi cette clé pendait juste derrière la fenêtre du box du syndicat?
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
L'homme regarde la clé dans votre main, puis balaye la pièce du regard.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
Ok. Je me demande quelle porte ça ouvre.
It could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door. It says workshop spare. Maybe there's a workshop there?
Je pense pas que ça ouvre la clé du toit, la porte du toit. Mais on va confronter Titus avant.
It's you again. What is it?
Ouais, c'est moi encore. Puis j'ai écouté ton tape. Bon, merci. J'ai parlé avec la J de la bande.
And
Et rien. Elle campe sur sa position.
that fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
C'est moi, il me fait penser un peu à... Oh man, je me rappelle plus le nom de l'acteur. C'est lui qui fait la dernière série là, de The Punisher. Burtnell? Burtnell? Ça? Oh my god, je me rappelle plus c'est quoi son nom, mais avouez que ça pourrait clairement être une caricature de ce gars-là. Bon. De l'or en bas, c'était juste des bruits de couloir, c'est pas une preuve.
Locker room talk. What are you, fucking brain dead? I've been to plenty of locker rooms. They don't plan rapes there.
Sounds like he wanted it to change her mind about the hanged man. This is definitely personal.
What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
Elle n'a pas du tout été surprise, et encore moins effrayée.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore.
Oh my god.
Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
Sa voix se fait un peu plus douce que précédemment.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
Titus se frotte le menton avec la paume de sa main comme s'il essayait de le lisser.
Women are crazy. Irrational. That's what you're thinking, right? Also, your fists are itching for a bump.
Elle n'est peut-être pas celle que vous croyez. Elle est peut-être encore dans le déni, vous savez qu'il y a une sorte de mécanisme de défense. Soyez franc avec moi, Titus. Qu'est-il arrivé? Je pense que c'est personnel pour vous et que vous avez des sentiments pour elle.
Yeah, they're all queers. Can't bump, hard fist, or anything.
It's all right, Glenn. I just thought I thought anyone would come around if they heard that shit. Apparently I was wrong.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Il sourit avec compassion.
You wanted her to see the man for what he was. Now that you know, you might want to lay off this topic, or else you might antagonize him.
I just got too worked up. Big man lost his shit. It's cool now.
Il secoue la tête. Mais ça va mieux désormais. Rate. Soyez franc avec moi, Titus. Qu'est-ce qui est arrivé?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
Mm-hmm.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I
So
am
much.
tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck on!"
Ok. Il jette violemment sa canette au sol.
This is the petulant rage of someone who's at the end of their wits.
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over.
Pas sûr.
Yeah.
L'épée se retrouve murée dans le silence. Alain commence à dire quelque chose avant de sagement se réviser.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
Pourquoi moi?
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be.
Non, c'est faible. J'ai trouvé quelqu'un ayant assisté à la pendaison. Un témoin.
A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this.
That's just tactics, Titus. Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already rolled on the others, and is in witness protection.
Mon témoin n'est pas du coin.
Well, let's hear it then. Who is your mystery fella?
Disons simplement que c'est un membre haut placé du gouvernement et restons en là.
Yeah, right. Like we wouldn't know if an MI plant was in our town. Nice try, right?
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. The last copper. What wacky claims did he make?
Il a dit que la pendaison s'était déroulée en silence, aucun cri, aucun brouhaha. Le témoin a dit qu'il avait vu plusieurs personnes d'origine aréopagite, mais ainsi qu'un masque. Le témoin a dit que ça ressemblait à une mise en scène surréaliste. Aucun cri. Ok, le témoin a dit que la pendaison s'était déroulée en silence. Aucun cri, aucun brouhaha.
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a fucking brass band. The Hardy Boys are dead silent.
Yeah, It's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What's with the cowbells, policeman?
Témoin a dit avoir vu 2 personnes d'origine ouais, j'ai de la misère avec ce mot-là. Aréopagite, ainsi qu'un mestre.
Arabagite? Boss, I think he's trying to say me and Theo.
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine were there too. I already told you. We were all there.
Témoin a dit que ça ressemble à une mise en scène surréaliste.
Those flaccid MI cocks with their culture language. Everything's a surreal play or sublime whatever. Doesn't mean anything.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky. It's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there was.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
Il prend quelques notes dans son calepin.
You didn't break this wagon fort, but you did manage to rattle the people inside a bit.
Ok. Laissez parler du témoin.
Some witness. I pulled the same shit. Came up with some shit, then went and said it to people. Get a reaction. Don't have to go to cop school to try that.
You don't have to go to school for shit. I never went to school, and I'm doing great.
You're doing a hell of a job, man. Hell of a job.
Okay, maybe it doesn't feel like this did anything to them, but they have to be fretting a little.
Come on.
Everyone is afraid of witnesses. Witness is a scary word.
Je suis pas capable de voir c'est quoi. Ah. On va l'essayer même si je vois pas c'est quoi.
Convince Titus
marché.
he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter.
Un de ces gars voudra. Ou c'est fini alors la fin classée. On rentre chez nous, Kim. Un de ces gars voudra.
Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility. Outside in the evening light, ruined and old, shadows lengthen on the pavement. A distant gunshot.
C'est fini alors, affaire classée, observez les endroits. On rentre chez nous, Kim. Le lieutenant hausse un sourcil.
He'll get it. Go on.
Prenez note, Kim. À Martinez, on vous tue parce qu'on ne vous aime pas.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
C'est à cause... Parce qu'à cause d'une nana.
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
The man's fists under the table are balled. You can tell from his neck and shoulders. He means it.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the wild north.
Ils vous pendent comme à l'époque des barbares en exhibant votre cadavre. Ils vous pendent, vous flinguent, peu importe. Ils ne se souviennent même pas. Ils vous pendent, vous flinguent, vous font cramer. Ils en ont rien à foutre. Vous pendent comme à l'époque des barbares en exhibant votre cadavre.
It wasn't that. It wasn't... We just couldn't get him down, okay?
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
Le vieil homme effleure son ceinturon, mais sa voix est très étrangement posée.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
Ok. Sinon quoi? Vous allez me tuer? Comme vous l'avez tué lui, sans aucune raison?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Oh! Il marque une pause de respiration soufflante.
Shut up, Angus!
Il était déjà mort quand vous l'avez pendu.
Laddie! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
La pièce devient silencieuse au point que vous arrivez à entendre la respiration soufflante d'Angus.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus?
Tabarnak.
Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Avoir.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
Et c'est loin qu'il s'est regardé derrière.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions.
Donc vous ne l'avez pas tué, il était déjà mort.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death, the bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Pourquoi?
Because the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Ok, les filles.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé dimanche soir?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
Comment ça avez-vous su?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
Ok, il se tourne vers vous. Il s'est passé quoi ensuite?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
Ok, donc la clé qui a été lancée d'en haut peut très bien avoir un rapport avec tout ça.
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Qui est Tibbs? Le 8e mardi?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Ok.
Right now, he's grateful he hasn't gotten his brother into this mess.
Si Clash ne l'a pas tué, alors pourquoi toute cette mascarade?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
J'avais rien remarqué du tout. De quel genre de pétrin vous voulez parler?
That can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world.
Ooh.
Where she came from.
Ces gens, qui sont-ils?
They're powerful. Connected to the Moore Lantern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
Alors, qui a tué le mercenaire dans ce cas? Une idée?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
À quoi pensez-vous?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klausya. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
Ça se pourrait, ça.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
Elles sont passées à lui. Vous en savez un peu sur aussi?
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done
Passées à
it.
lui.
They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell.
Et c'est enrobé pour réfléchir.
Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now, threw all that turmoil away, and became himself again.
Intéressant. Mais qui a eu l'idée de le pendre? C'est elle?
In a manner of speaking.
Qu'est-ce que vous voulez dire?
We had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it. For political reasons. It sent a good message.
C'est elle, n'est-ce pas? La trafiquante de drogue, la 8e mardi.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head.
A little too far there, but you're definitely right.
That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
Compris, vous pouvez m'en dire un peu plus sur elle? Nom, adresse actuelle?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klasia you want to talk to.
Ok, on a réussi.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
Merci pour ces infos, Titus. J'irai lui parler une dernière fois.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go.
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
She, Klasia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But...
Still, after all this headache...
Mais vous préférez quand même qu'on ne l'embarque pas.
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
Le lieutenant glisse son calepin dans la poche de sa veste. Il fait vers volte-face pour s'en aller. Oh, sauvegarde automatique. Ok. Je confondrai avec la J grâce à l'histoire de la bande Hardy. Nice. Il y en a d'autres déterminés. On en a fait quand même pas mal à date. Hey Majestic, comment vas-tu? De mon côté, ça va très bien. Pas mal sûr que c'est la porte d'en haut, même. La clé qu'on a
You
trouvée.
see a heavy steel door with... The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years.
Ça marche.
But then, the lock clicks.
What?
Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages.
Bon. Good! Content que ça aille bien de ton côté. Il est écrit franco-nigérien sur le flipper. Son thème, chevaux et épées. Le thème du flipper, des auras blanches. Le fronton représente une femme en deuil. 5 piastres! Passez une
Over
belle
there,
journée.
in the corner.
Il fait peur!
Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on
Kim,
it.
vous voyez ce que je vois?
The pinball machine.
Yeah.
Gordy's Goats, a classic.
Seconde, vous y avez joué?
A little.
Feels like a lot. Too much to play it again.
Avez-vous trouvé d'autres indices ou suspects? Ok. Oui, en fait, on a tiré au clair. On vient de tirer au clair toute cette histoire-là de pendaison, de viol et tout ça. Que c'était toute une mascarade. On a réussi à faire avouer au Hardy que c'était vraiment toute une mise en scène. Et c'est Clash J qui aurait demandé, la fille sur le toit, qui aurait demandé de faire une mascarade avec tout ça. Fait que là, on s'en va la confronter dans pas long pour savoir pourquoi elle a voulu faire ça. Puis la balle aurait venu du balcon ou de plus loin sur la côte, point en hauteur. Ça aurait été pendant qu'ils étaient les deux dans la chambre. Donc la balle aurait traversé la fenêtre. C'est pour ça qu'il y a une nouvelle fenêtre dans sa chambre. Donc c'est ça qui s'est passé à date. On a trouvé la clé pour aller là. Oh! Confirmation que tu reçois ta PS5 lundi. Nice! Voyons ça de plus près.
Ah, great.
Lieutenant Souper.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin operated.
Ouais, effectivement, on a quand même très bien avancé comme début de soirée. Oh oui, on a aussi été parlé, tu sais, le fumeur qu'il y avait sur le balcon, là, premier, deuxième épisode environ, là, qu'on a joué, là, qui nous avait dit qui nous avait fait signe, là, de la roche en bas, là, puis qu'on avait trouvé une clé, on était rentré dans la bâtisse, mais on n'avait pas trop trouvé comment aller y parler. On avait su par la suite qu'on devait aller y parler à 9h, fait qu'on a réussi à y parler, puis on a trouvé une personne du gouvernement qui était là, c'était son ami, donc il nous a rien appris d'important.
Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready.
Ok, c'est penché pour lire le texte.
Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Muindi. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people.
Inspecter le terrain de jeu.
The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain.
C'est moi ou c'est complexe comme setting pour une machine à un flipper?
Areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit.
C'est quoi le délire avec les chèvres?
Indeed. Think of them as balls.
Let's go.
It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease.
Okay.
Go, go, finger boy.
I feel sorry for the gods. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was.
Je me débrouille pas mal.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go.
Ok, se concentrer et viser le passage étoile.
Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. The words "pale rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid nihilistic finale.
Wow.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. Lucky goats, the fog looks soft and inviting. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next.
J'en reviens juste pas. Comment que c'est juste un flipper qui peut devenir intense.
You're down to your last goat. Going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point. But that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death.
Ok, on peut y arriver, vous allez voir.
I am. I've seen it before. Played it too. You will eventually make a mistake and then it's all over.
How, if you can't even see it? The last goat plummets
no,
into
on a
the fog
perdu.
with almost
No.
suicidal glee. It killed itself to spite you. There goes nothing, finger boy. Anti-object task force.
Nice.
Behold, the anti-object task force has assembled. God's avenging angel, arrayed against the lower emanations of the darkened one. Shoe racks, tape recorders, motor carriages, and doors. So many doors.
Doors everywhere.
You're not just pounding it all to pieces. You're reforging the universe. From the anvil of the heavens to the worms below. Indulge in it. Be bold. Have an impact on the shape of creation. Out of the furnace of your rage. A new reality. Also, you should trash your room again.
Non! 1 plus 1 quelques coriaces, vigueur, toutes les séries d'apprentissage, répondre 1. Nice. Attaquer des objets physiques, soigne les dégâts. Mais non! C'est bien drôle, ça. Ok, découvrir que c'est écrit recette, parfait.
The machine is...
Ah, pas jouer, ça c'est triste. Un autre nettoyé, la clé de secours est attachée au buisson à l'extérieur de la fenêtre de la chambre. Ben non, pas pour vrai! C'est de là que j'arrive.
The machine is...
T'as peur, c'est quoi qui t'a marqué? Je le laisse pas
The
finir.
machine is dead and silent. It needs serious maintenance before anyone can play it.
Ah, fuck. C'est triste. Oh, 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 oh.
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
Oh non. Passer le doigt sur la poussière de la machine des auras blanches.
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
Et si on branchait des machines pour faire une petite partie?
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
Disons le regard.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
On dirait que vous n'avez pas le flipper, Kim.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
Ok, et ce jeu, la balle franco-nigériane, vous voulez jouer?
No.
Ok.
Kim, Pinball,
What?
Kitsuragi.
Kim Flipper Kitsuragi, également connu sous le nom de Kimper.
Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
Hey, Kimper!
What?
Vous êtes Kim Flipper Kitsuragi?
So now he remembers.
Il vous regarde dans le silence de l'atelier, il retire ensuite les lunettes et commence à les nettoyer.
Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations.
Attendez, je ne me souviens toujours de rien d'autre. Vous n'avez pas l'air vraiment d'aimer les flippers.
No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastique, science-fiction, and historic romance franchise.
Continuez.
It is lame.
Alors pourquoi vous faites-vous appeler Flipper?
I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy.
Comment allez-vous?
Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop.
Ok, d'accord.
It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was
Oh my
successful and I
God.
was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story.
Vous avez travaillé dans la brigade de prévention de la délinquance juvénile pendant 15 ans?
That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
So that's why he doesn't want to talk to Kuno. Trauma and stressor disorder from being a juvie cop.
Mais c'est donc pour ça que vous ne vouliez pas parler à Kuno.
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents.
Je vais je vais vous appeler Kimper maintenant. Ne vous inquiétez pas, je continuerai à vous appeler Kim.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is good too. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the whirling.
Ok.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside.
Yep.
Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in.
Je me demande à quoi servait cet ascenseur.
Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
Il tapote l'ampoule vacillante. Qui scintille d'une lueur dorée dans le noir. Observez les commandes de
There
l'ascenseur.
are large rectangular buttons.
Il y a juste deux trucs. Monter ou descendre.
descend, and an international call for emergency
Pour ça d'avoir
assistance.
l'appel d'urgence,
That
effectivement.
third one appears to be broken.
Mais il fonctionne plus. Ah ben, refermez la porte et montez. On va sortir à côté de... Oh non, on a sorti ailleurs. Je m'attendais pas à ce qu'on sorte là. Intéressant. Des petites fenêtres scellées avec du plastique blanc. Impossible de voir ce qu'il y a à l'extérieur. Un plan pour un flipper futuriste. Des boîtes à outils et des pièces de rechange bordent les étagères. Il y a sûrement de l'argent là-dedans. Oh, wow, un trench coat du fabricant de flipper! Yeah! Le flipper a été réduit en pièces.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up. A long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
On dirait qu'à un moment donné, ils ont arrêté de réparer les flippers. C'était un défi de flipper trop fois. On dirait qu'à un moment donné, ils ont arrêté de réparer les flippers.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
C'était un atelier de flippers autrefois.
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel?
Peut-être.
There are machines left over.
Tape du pied.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the artists bang away at it.
Remember the dice maker? Then that means...
Autrefois, le Whirling in Rags. Flipper. Autrefois, le Whirling in Rags, c'était le flipper de Titus. C'est tout ce qu'il en reste.
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice makers said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure. But I do like a nice little connection.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
Est-ce que ça signifie que le Whirling in Rags fait partie de la zone commerciale maudite?
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
It's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and God ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells.
C'est très drôle. Ah, qu'est-ce qu'on a déverrouillé, l'hôtel maudit? La question qui n'est toujours pas élucidée, la Whirling Rag fait-il partie de la zone commerciale maudite? Parlez-en garde. Intéressant. Hein? Il y a des traces de pas.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Ok. Quelqu'un est venu ici il y a une semaine ou deux.
3 weeks maximum, from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
This is so good it makes him forget the whole Kimball memory.
This isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place.
Voyons ça de plus près.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines.
Cette empreinte ne se ressemble pas à celle laissée par la drôle de spell que nous avons retrouvée sur le lieu de la pendaison de Kim. Ça ne ressemble pas aux bottes des ouvriers sur le lieu de pendaison.
The size looks about the same, actually. They are not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
Ok. Ça ressemble pas aux bottes des ouvriers sur la lieu de la pendaison.
No. These little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Bon, je suis relevé.
Everything around you is quiet.
Qu'est-ce
The
que
prints crisscross the workshop floor.
Et qu'est-ce que ça veut
It
dire?
means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route. Behind Classius' room. In the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Allons voir ailleurs. C'est la chambre de Clashy. Ça mène directement au toit. La force
This
que
is
j'ai
the
pas arrêté de
barred
frapper.
door you tried to kick in before.
Balance un dernier coup de poing, au cas où. C'était
The door
juste pour la
shudders a
santé.
bit, as though it were laughing at you. The door shudders
Ah,
a
ça marche
bit,
pas.
as
Ça marche juste
though
une
it
fois.
were laughing at you.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a de l'autre côté? Déverrouiller la porte. Descends maudit, qu'est-ce qu'il y a de l'autre côté? Eh oui. Ah, ça.
This window is pristine on the inside.
Attendez un peu. On avait plus rien à faire là, mais. La fille est plus sur le toit? Well, well, well. Il est rendu quasiment 1h du matin. Il est pas dans son appartement. Où est-elle? Sur le balcon? Pas sur le balcon. Il fallait que je parle. Elle est pas dans notre chambre. Elle est en bas. Ok. J'avais vu ça vite fait, aussi, je pensais qu'il était mort. Il reste plus grand monde, hein? Attendez un peu, là. Ah bon, on va parler avec garde de ça. On va les trouver.
Can I help you?
Regarde, j'ai vu autre chose au
Another
Warning.
thing. Great. I love those.
Regarde, si je vous disais que je suis rentré dans la pièce secrète, derrière la porte bleue en acier.
Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Vous n'allez pas me demander ce qui se cache derrière?
Okay, what is back there?
Des flippers. Un atelier de flippers.
I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean.
Quoi, voulez-vous faire une petite partie? Moi, ça me brancherait bien.
No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
Si vous avez en tête de vendre ces flippers, je veux une grosse part, genre comme un cadre dirigeant. Vous frappez la poitrine. Je suis un agitateur!
Those machines are whirling property. But if it makes you feel any better, I'm not planning to sell them. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear that it's part of the doomed commercial area. He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
Je dois vous avertir. Il se peut que j'ai découvert que le Warning fasse partie de la zone commerciale maudite.
What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing.
So he knows of the doomed commercial area and its address. He's thought about this.
Le nom du Warning apparaît sur l'interphone à l'extérieur, comme l'une des entreprises du bâtiment B de la zone commerciale maudite.
I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the Whirling.
Le Warning était autrefois le flipper de la Delta Est. Avant de connaître la faillite, il faudra pas longtemps au Whirling pour subir le même sort.
Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? This pre-revolutionary tilework, these high ceilings, the nice rooms, well, most of the rooms. For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, if some doom ghost...
He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before, the hostel is actually very important to him.
Et qui possède cet endroit?
Some real estate management company. They never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved.
Et qui lui a donné le nom de Whirling and Rags?
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
It was you?
You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's Hail, Holy Queen by the Ateniers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Oh, ça parle d'une reine de mer qui tourbillonne en aéro.
Good pick.
Ok. Vous êtes vraiment au petit soin avec le Whirling, hein?
Yeah. It's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way. Especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way. Even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area.
Ah! Alors vous l'admettez enfin?
Yes, your police skills have delivered. I'm sure you'll get a commendation. Maybe even a promotion.
Eh bien, dans ce cas, bonne chance à vous avec cet endroit.
Luck has got nothing to do with it. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help. So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, can we, wrap it up?
Clash G, chambre 3, elle a coupé la ligne téléphonique.
Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building.
He really doesn't like it being classier.
Bon, en tout cas, mystère résolu. J'aime pas laisser les choses en suspens.
Yeah, neither do I. Thank you for telling me, I guess. Good thing she pays for her stuff on time. I'll forward her the bill and be done with it.
Garde, j'ai vu un panneau interdisant l'accès à la cuisine. Pourquoi je peux pas y aller?
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business.
Mais ça peut que la cuisine reste un élément crucial pour notre
He
enquête.
wasn't pan-fried. He was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with...
Il se réveille.
Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that,
Bon,
if you
parfait.
must. Yes?
Ok, on n'a plus rien à faire là en tant que tel. Ok, fait que ça c'est terminé. L'hôtel maudit, good. On en a beaucoup encore d'actifs, mais ceux du lundi, on commence à quitter pas mal.
Yes?
Parlez-moi de l'affaire.
What do you want to know?
Quelles disaient les informations préliminaires à ce propos avant que vous veniez ici? C'est quelque chose que j'aurais dû faire au début.
You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM
Oh my
emergencies
God.
desk received
Moi
a
qu'on a oublié de
report
faire
about a
ça.
security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria.
Oh mon
The
dieu.
cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word
J'en reviens
lynching.
pas.
There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Et pourquoi on ne sait rien sur la personne qui a appelé?
They, classier as we've come to suspect, didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Pourquoi cette personne n'a-t-elle pas révélé son identité?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
D'accord, oui, je comprends tout maintenant.
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer.
En fait, je n'ai rien besoin d'autre pour l'instant.
Good.
J'en reviens pas qu'on ait pas fait ça, tu sais. Ou le reste de l'armure, l'insigne, qui a jeté les vêtements, on l'a toujours pas trouvé. Le karaoké, aucune idée comment le faire. L'arme du crime puis de notre arme, ouais, bon, on a toujours pas d'informations là-dessus. Fait que on va pas mal focuser sur ceux du mardi maintenant. Et en quoi le broche que mange des grévisses, c'est la spécialité du cuisinier. Vous pouvez le trouver dans la cuisine, mener l'enquête. Ah, damn it, j'ai oublié complètement qu'on pourrait faire ça. Bon, fait qu'on va aller coucher notre bonhomme, parce qu'il est quand même rendu tard. Ça va nous donner mercredi. On va nous ouvrir une autre possibilité. Le mercredi, il y a les éclus, si je me trompe pas. À demain, parfait. La question c'est, est-ce qu'on peut interagir avec le miroir? Hey, cette porte-là...
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. It's your face in the mirror, adorned with the expression.
Ok, fait que c'est... électrochimie. Je vais aller voir dans mes affaires, on va essayer de le faire. C'est juste pas exprès. Ok, on a-tu bien gros de l'électrochimie? Électrochimie plus 1, mais on a d'autres choses qui donnent de l'électrochimie. Hein. On va être beau pendant 2 minutes. Là, je me rappelle de tout ce que j'avais. On va augmenter de 1 en électrochimie. Ça devrait faire la job. Et électrochimie.
The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something. Soft, yet crinkly.
Sortez l'objet.
Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time.
What?
Something about the wrapper's texture is familiar. Not familiar in a good way, you might say. This...
Oh non. Ok, mais avant d'aller interagir avec ça, on va aller interagir avec
the
le
mirror
miroir.
hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. It's like something snaps in you. A nerve ending. A thought. A sadness.
Oh!
Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the layer that had distorted it for God knows
Oh my
how
god.
long.
Enfin!
Just like that, it's over.
Hey!
The
On a plus
running
notre
gag
sourire!
that your life had become. A sad old man looks back at you.
On a plus le sourire! Ok. On va reporter nos trucs qu'on portait. Ah, on avait plus ça en électrochimie dans ces pantalons aussi. Réactivité, j'aime pas ça d'avoir. La mise en scène, je m'en fous un peu. Clair-obscur versus électrochimie. Qu'est-ce qui est le best? Clair-obscur, c'est pas là-dedans? C'est lui ici. Laissez parler votre corps et intimider les gens. Oh, ouais, well. Pas d'importance. Par contre, ça, c'est là en tabarnane. Art dramatique puis électrochimie, là. Peut-être que ça, c'est mieux. Malade. Ok. Ouais, c'est correct. Le coup, je suis toujours pogné avec la maudite cravate terrifiante. On peut interagir avec ça. Un papier de chewing-gum étincelant retrouvé dans les poches du jeans de l'ouvrier. Il dégage un subtil parfum d'abricot. Commence à le saluer.
A crinkled chewing gum wrapper. The worn label reads, Tutti Frutti. It smells faintly of apricots, with a barely noticeable twinge of cinnamon.
Ok, d'abord, pourquoi je me préoccupe de ça?
Good question. There is no answer or secret phrase written on the inside of the wrapper. Yet you're drawn to it. Drawn by regret. Stop before you hurt yourself with a Tutti Frutti wrapper. Throw it away, please.
Je vais m'y accrocher juste au cas où.
You carefully fold the wrapper into a square before putting it back into your pocket, lovingly even, despite the strange feeling of regret.
Ok, what? C'est bien weird comme truc. On a plein de nouvelles trucs sur la carte. La porte barrée. Porte barrée? Je sais qu'il y avait une porte barrée. D'instrument physique, mais je sais pas c'est où. Porte barrée. Ah, je pense qu'on avait à taper dedans. Y a-t-il une autre porte qu'on avait à taper dedans? Je m'en rappelle pas! Ouais, les instruments physiques, là, comme les haltères, ces affaires-là, c'est juste pour se blesser plus qu'autre chose. On va aller se coucher.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not.
Ah, t'as peu situé la porte barrée? C'est pas elle.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it.
Bon, deuxième journée de fini, guys.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Qu'est-ce qu'on va avoir comme rêve cette fois-là? Ou pas du tout, peut-être? Who knows?
Here we are again, my broken bud.
Oh no!
Waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating, brother man.
Pourquoi?
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
Okay.
And there's a lot of it, ever present in your organs. It's like every one of them has their own nasty song to sing. Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
De la faute du système il m'a trahi. Ce corps ne vaut rien de toute façon, il ne lui arrive que des tuiles. Je suis désolé, mais c'est lui, chérie, c'est moi. Tout est de ma faute.
Now, you're finally thinking about something other than yourself. Let's see how far that'll get you.
Je pense que j'ai besoin de soins médicaux. Ce sont juste mes desserts, je supporterai cette douleur avec dignité. Non, pitié, où est-ce de venir en béni? Ce doux oubli. Je suis un artiste, les lésions du poison mon art.
There's no dignity here. Only reflections of your body mass, flashes of the day. You keep coming back to yourself in the mirror, but why? To admire all your accomplishments? You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people, really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
Je le ferai, je regarde les gens tout le temps. Je les aime bien.
Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
Some of them are. Some of them are nice. Others are scared.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
On ouvre les yeux. Let's go. Journée 3. On doit s'approcher de quelque chose, là, veux pas. Oh yeah, notre santé maximum. Non, on n'a pas l'air d'être dans un bon état, right? Il est où notre Kitsuragi? Il est pas là. Il est où le lieutenant Kitsuragi? On va voir si elle est à quelque part. Là. Nous autres on rentre chez elle comme si rien n'était. On est de même. Elle est sur le toit. Elle est sur le toit. Est-ce qu'on devait y parler? Je me rappelle plus si on devait y parler.
It's always good to see you.
Il nous adresse un sourire fatigué en se penchant en arrière contre la rambarde.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
Maintenant que dimanche. Ok, maintenant que dimanche. Oh mon dieu, j'ai lu direct en diagonale. Maintenant que Kim n'est plus là. Parlons de ce qui s'est passé dimanche soir.
Ah, yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you're a police officer.
C'est un de mes premiers souvenirs après avoir réintégré ce monde.
Wow. Elysium. You don't hear that term often.
She's a glib girl, but she liked the wording.
Est-ce que vous avez entendu quelque chose dimanche soir dans ma chambre?
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music.
J'avais de la visite?
I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo.
Vous avez parlé de musique disco jouée plein pot?
Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them.
Elle lève un sourcil, attendant à ce que le nom vous dise quelque chose.
Oh, we're huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course. Like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
Ouais, c'est ça, on s'accroche.
I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped, and there was a change of pace.
Qu'est-ce qui vient de se passer?
A slow, sad song started playing. Like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while.
Salut,
Some of
Hassan!
that time you were yelling along to it.
Comment vas-tu? Qu'est-ce que je chantais?
That it doesn't matter anymore, and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it.
Ça va super bien, merci. Content que ça aille bien de ton côté aussi. Quand vous dites en rue, c'est une bonne chose, comme si j'étais un animal sauvage.
Yes, it was very cool.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé ensuite?
Then you started screaming and trashed the place.
Vous êtes sûr que je n'étais pas en train de me faire agresser?
No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room.
Le sirop de son café en souriant.
A window was smashed. The tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out.
Ça me rend fier d'entendre tout ça. Dites-moi que ça s'arrête là.
There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5. And that was it.
Merci.
No problem, sir.
Uh-huh. Je pense que la question, on devrait la garder pour le mec que Kim soit avec nous autres, non? Malgré que... Je sais pas si Kim va être avec nous autres. Je sais pas. Les Hardis nous ont raconté ce qui s'est passé.
I understand.
Elle pose sa tasse de café. Vous n'avez pas l'air très surprise. Vous vous y attendiez?
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
Pourquoi vous m'avez fait perdre mon temps? Alors, si vous saviez que j'allais tout découvrir.
Because of the Hardis. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
Une seconde, c'est pas la bande Hardy qui fait la loi, c'est moi.
I know that. But the people around here, they don't see it that way. And if I am to stay here, I need to get along with them.
Super, ça me va comme
I
explication.
sense you're being sarcastic. Okay. The thing is, you're on the payroll of the Moralist International.
Elle s'interrompt un moment, le temps de sortir une nouvelle cigarette de son paquet.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. Where the cold oceanic expanse lies, and behind it, another world.
C'est pour ça que vous avez toujours un œil derrière vous. Vous avez peur de la morale interne.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
Elle allume une cigarette. C'est quoi l'histoire? Vous avez fait quoi?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
Qu'est-ce qui se passera s'ils vous trouvent?
They will kill me, officer. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing.
Okay.
This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
C'est quoi la tâche terminée? Ok, confronté. Bon, good.
Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé ici la nuit de la mort?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Dites-moi exactement ce qui s'est passé.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
You were right. He did enjoy the moment of his death.
Ça confirme le sentiment que j'ai eu. Il a vraiment trouvé sa mort agréable.
Yes, but how did you know that?
Je l'ai lu dans ses yeux.
She blinks. Everything is silent for a second.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé ensuite?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
Le silence s'étire, il reste là, debout, les bras le long du corps.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
Ok, je suis désolé que vous ayez eu à traverser cette épreuve.
So am I.
Elle lève ses doigts aussi par sa
She
cigarette.
throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
Quelle heure était-il?
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
Étiez-vous en état d'ébriété?
Not as much as usual. 'He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
11:30 to 12:15.
I was
11:30 to 12:15. 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 11:30 to 12:15.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus a dit que vous avez l'air plus défoncé que d'habitude.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Okay.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
Est-ce que vous avez vu ou entendu le tireur à un moment ou à un autre?
No,
Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait ensuite?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Run, woman. Run past them and out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can.
Pourquoi vous ne vous êtes pas enfui? D'ailleurs, qu'est-ce que vous faites encore là?
I already ran. I ran from an entire isola. I can't run any further. Not with these people. This is as far as it gets.
Au moment de l'accident, est-ce que vous avez entendu un coup de feu?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
Ok. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé quand vous êtes arrivé en bas?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ok.
Ruby?
Petite parenthèse, c'est qui Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
La chef? La chef de quoi?
The Hardy Boys.
À son tour, on croirait qu'elle souligne l'évidence. J'aurais dit que c'était Hardy, la chef des Hardy.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken
Là, notre
care of.
huitième.
She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power.
C'est notre
She
huitième
trusts
Hardy.
her. So do the others.
Est-ce qu'il s'agit du huitième Hardy?
Why not?
Très bien, poursuivons. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé ensuite?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December.
C'est la
They know
deuxième
my
fille de tantôt que les
situation,
Hardy nous disaient.
but I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
Ok.
They tampered with the body to disguise the cause of death.
Vous trafiquez le corps.
Yes. Ruby said the blood in him would look like a hanging.
Ok. Qu'avez-vous fait ensuite?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough.
Nope, il y avait son
But I've
armure.
seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
Que faisiez-vous pendant la pendaison?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
C'est un conseil, ouais. Cette Ruby, où est-elle à présent?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
Ok. Pourquoi avoir rempli les flics si vous vous planquez?
Because I'm an idiot.
Ok.
Which is an indicator of truth.
Pourquoi pas un nom? Pourquoi avez-vous appelé?
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Ouais, Kuno.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days.
3 jours à y lancer des cailloux.
I could
Il est
hear
malade.
the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
Oh God, that was a lie too. Who made the call then? Don't be paranoid, man. It's unbecoming of a police officer. and it makes you sweat.
La vitre, elle a été changée quand?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
Ok, c'est sur sa cigarette.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
Dans la chambre à l'intérieur?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait pour que ces gens vous pourchassent comme ça?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Orania.
Vous avez fait quoi? Exactement.
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again.
Oh no.
With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
Vos victimes, qui sont-elles? Et qui avez-vous engagé?
The job was
Qui vous
the
a
Lewis
engagé?
Twin County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lewis Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
C'est sûr. Votre rappel, comme vous dites, vous avez détruit ce que d'autres ont bâti. Il y en a qui ont fait des choses bien pires. Vous êtes foutus dans une belle merde. Ouais.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people too, not just C-suite.
Je me secoue la tête en y
A
repensant.
lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more.
Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait?
One of them killed themselves because of me.
Ouch. C'est pas facile à gérer.
How do you deal with anything? It's all just... How do you do it?
Ouais, je sais même plus ce que j'ai goûté hier.
That would do the trick, yes.
Elle a quasiment dévoré la cigarette qu'elle vient d'allumer. Elle lui lance un regard triste.
Around her, a drop in the atmospheric pressure. Not long from now, it will get dark, and the air will start moving faster, circling the box she stands on. She's already in prison here for what happened, and she's prepared to never leave, even after his death.
Vous croyez que c'est les types qui vous poursuivent qui l'ont tué?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
Et alors?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
Elle baisse les yeux sur sa cigarette.
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
Que ce soit vrai ou pas, c'est à prendre en
If
considération.
there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from Luskop. They don't fuck things like this up.
Ok. Je crois qu'on en a terminé pour l'instant.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke, just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. You're not done. She's a flight risk, and she lied to you. Wake up, man.
Pas tous les diables debout là-dedans. Ordre dramatique. Ordre dramatique. Ordre dramatique. Je sais que j'ai des vêtements par rapport à ça. Ordre dramatique qui est là. Y a-t-il autre chose? Lui. Ça fait quoi? Ok, instrument physique, fine. Y a-t-il autre chose qui m'enlève? Ah, c'est ça qui m'enlève l'ordre dramatique, mais pourquoi je l'enlève? Ok, fait qu'on avait ça. On avait... C'est un peu niaiseux tout d'un coup. Oh mon dieu. On a plus 2 en ordre dramatique là. Fait dur. On a plus 2 en ordre dramatique. C'est Titus à vous révéler où se cache Ruby.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
But we
Come
are awake,
on.
sire. She has been forthcoming with sordid details women usually conceal. Most shocking details of the sexual kind. We are a bulwark, unbreached. You've been breached, bulwark. You've been breached like 1,000 times now.
Come on.
So you say, but give us one example of deceit. Just one example.
Je me souviens de demander si c'était vraiment elle qui avait poussé ce coup de fil à la police.
There iseth no doubt. The lady could not bear the sight of her lover splayed and disfigured. A horrible story. Try not to sweat so profusely in her presence, too. You blow your chances. It looks like this one's not waking up. You'll have to do it without pushing her further. At least for now.
Oh no. En ordre dramatique. C'est le seul point qu'on peut avoir. Fait qu'après ça, plus le choix de.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here?
We are
Oh mon
wide
Dieu.
awake and staring into an archipelago of truths. Scandalous facts she shared, omitting nothing, even if it casts her as a demimonde with sexually lax morals.
C'est quoi le pourcentage? Ah, 14 contre 10, mais de toute façon, c'est un échec critique avec les deux. À tout hasard, se pourrait-il que cette avalanche de détails crus cache quelque chose de moins sensationnel, mais de plus
Who
illégal?
is this personhood picking these seditious options? Can't you see the detective grows weary of your malcontent? Stop staring at her eyes and say something pertinent to the case. This is making you look like... It looks like this one's not waking up. You'll have to do it without pushing her further. At least for now.
Pas pour l'instant. Fait qu'on va se rhabiller comme du monde pour vrai, je reste pas de même, c'est assez affreux. On avait dit ça, on avait dit ça. Qu'est-ce que j'ai d'autre que j'ai changé? Les gants, hein? Non, les gants c'est correct. Ça c'est laid. Je vais mettre ça. Ok. Fait que c'est tout pour le moment.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass.
On va prendre congé, on va juste regarder le truc analytique, projection analytique. Ces lunettes-là le font. On va essayer de mettre de plus en plus les chances de notre côté quand on a quelque chose du style à faire. C'est autre chose qui enlève la projection analytique. Pas de l'air. Let's go dans les outils. On a-tu quelque chose pour ça? Non. Non. Ok, là. Fait qu'on va y aller de même.
This window is pristine on the inside. And the golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
Ok. Dans quelle position est-ce qu'il se trouve?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him.
D'où est-ce qu'elle vient?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Examiner les souhaits spectrales.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Examiner le point A.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
C'est normal de pas trouver de résidus de tir à l'extérieur.
There could have been. Then the rain and slush
Ouais,
and
ça fait
wind
trop longtemps.
washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
Du coup, j'ai 80% de chance que le tir provienne du toit, c'est ça?
72%. with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition, a Belma Grave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside, in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
Est-ce qu'il y a des éléments qui contredisent A Prime sur le toit?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
La balle n'a pas pu être tirée de l'intérieur de la pièce, d'un point plus rapproché.
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony,
Exactly.
rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective.
Est-ce qu'on peut s'envisager un autre point d'origine plus éloigné?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Extrapoler le rayon pour inclure l'ensemble de Martinez.
You would need a map for that. A map of Martinez.
Dites, où est-ce que je peux trouver une carte de Martinez?
Your voice alone rings in the room. This visual forensics ability doesn't dispense shopping tips.
Ok. Va falloir le demander à Kim. Es-tu sur la Guy? Et qu'on le trouve. À un moment donné, on va bien finir par le retrouver, Kim. On va descendre. J'aurais peut-être pas dû tout faire ça sans lui, par exemple. Il est là.
Yes?
Je veux qu'on parle.
Me?
Non, de vous. Ouais.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
Oh, c'est juste des levels pour le nombre de temps que vous êtes sur la chaîne, en fait.
Binoclar? Is that how they do things over at the 41st? No wonder you're clear. What do you want to know? Good.
J'étais un peu... Hey, le dude qui fume. Je suis comme un psy, mais sans les diplômes.
Hi, gendarme. Another rendezvous.
Bonjour, ajustez votre
I see
cravate.
you found yourself a little something from my wardrobe. Not bad at all. What brings you here?
Rencontré votre ami du dimanche.
You did? And how did you like him?
Vous avez raison, il était magique. Magiquement
I
bureaucratique.
told you, he can be very useful. I guess that's the charm of powerful people.
Vous êtes quoi, vous deux?
Friends, I told you. Sunday friends. Friends who like to get together from time to time.
Ça veut dire quoi, un ami du dimanche?
That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess.
Est-ce vraiment un ami?
It is. On Sundays.
Ok. Bon, je suis pas là pour parler des autres, mais de vous.
What about me, gendarme?
Qu'est-ce que vous fichez ici?
Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer?
Je suis ici pour rentrer dans l'histoire en devenant chanteur de karaoké.
Really? Well, I look forward to that.
Laisse son verre vers vous. Ok. À propos de ce chapeau que je porte.
You can keep it. I don't mind. I can appreciate beauty when I see it.
Merci, c'est comme avoir un morceau de vous sur moi en permanence.
Is it now? Well, enjoy it.
It's the sports. He's a sports guy, all about that physical prowess
C'était sûr qu'on
and
allait pas l'avoir.
athletic skill. Nothing else here.
Parlez-moi à nouveau de ce type baraqué qui est venu enquêter sur le meurtre.
Oh yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building, asking questions.
Qu'est-ce que vous lui avez raconté?
Nothing. That I didn't see anything.
Il a gommé ça?
Why shouldn't he?
Vous lui avez parlé de votre ami?
What friend?
Votre ami du dimanche, au témoin.
No, I don't think it came up.
De quoi il avait l'air?
Muscular, handsome, strong, like one of those military types.
Est-ce qu'il était seul?
Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece.
Son oreillette?
Yes, you know those tiny speaker microphones that fancy security guards sometimes wear.
Pourquoi tu crois pas qu'il va rentrer dans l'histoire en chantant du karaoké? Qu'est-ce qu'il disait?
Just reporting back whatever I was telling him.
À part être baraqué, il avait d'autres signes distinctifs.
Let me think.
Il avait
He had an accent.
Il avait un accent.
He sounded like one of those mercenaries. He sounded vaguely Oranese. No, not vaguely, scratch that. He sounded definitely Oranese.
Merci pour le renseignement.
Sure. Anything else on your mind? Bye-bye, gendarme.
Viens avec moi, Kim. J'aurais dû aller le chercher avant. Je me sens un peu mal. Il sait pas tout ce qu'on sait.
The same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman. A ray of backward motion. The ray cast from the man's mouth. 72%. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? The man does not know. The ray cast from the man's mouth. There could have been 72%. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium.
Bon, yeah.
A well-lit aquarium. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the
marche pas. J'aurais voulu qu'il me dise où est-ce que je pouvais trouver une carte. On va tout de suite régler la facture de la journée.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but...
Good. Faut pas t'en parler, mais merci.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Il y a quoi dans ce borscht que vous mijotez?
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his, and then seems to wait for you to speak.
Ouais.
Borscht need more vodka?
Il y a pas une bouteille sur l'étagère.
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Vodka borscht! I love it,
No.
Bratan! Turn it the fuck up and then ask for some yourself!
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
Bon, let's go, on l'essaye.
He smiles, nodding vigorously, then pours half a bottle of vodka into the pot. With a whistle, he stirs the brew.
Grachi, je pourrais avoir un peu de ragoût.
He smiles and nods enthusiastically, and, chattering away in his language, ladles some brew into a small thermal cup, then hands it to you.
Bon, cool. Ok. Intéressant. Bon. Kim m'aimera pas ça
It's you again.
On a quand
What
ça
is
des
it?
affaires que lui, il sait pas, là. Bon, j'ai parlé avec la J, à présent je dois causer à Ruby.
Why?
Il recule, il se recule pour lui dire avec curiosité. Parce qu'elle est votre véritable chef.
You're cuckoo, cop. I'm the only man responsible for this unit. Get with it, or fuck off.
How many times must I tell you?
Yeah, fuck off!
Je vais être franc avec vous. C'est elle le prochain maillon de la chaîne qui me mènera à l'assassin de l'Ely.
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch, you're not. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ah, c'est moi, il rejette un regard Titus, l'homme corpulent supérieur.
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
Ouais, let's go.
A sudden
Yes.
flash of light
Yes.
in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought. A massive activity spike in the amygdala copicum, the part cops use to pin murders on people.
Ok, pourquoi êtes-vous si sûr que Ruby ne l'a pas tué?
Because she was here all night.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking. Near the stage there.
Désigne la scène du karaoké. Elle n'est pas allée au bar pour boire un coup?
No.
Durant ces 45 minutes, elle se trouvait avec vous sans interruption?
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, Cop.
That's probably for the best. Don't break your stride now.
And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
Vous êtes bien d'accord que le tir provenait du toit, exact?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinet.
Intéressant.
Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
Il y a 72% de chances que la balle ait été tirée depuis toi.
72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
J'ai analysé ça sur place et il se trouve que j'en suis capable.
No, you can't. I know what you did here on the weekend. People talk.
Oh,
What
il
they
m'aime
say
pas.
doesn't sound like a science cop. You're a madman.
Those numbers were an ass pull, man.
Yeah, and they don't put her on the roof either. It's just mambo jambo. He hasn't got shit.
Il y a un chemin secret dans la cuisine qui mène directement au toit.
Oh.
En passant par ce qui ressemble à un atelier de flipper abandonné.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Weird? How? You're wearing the pinball maker's coat.
Comme ça, glauque, Theo?
Was run by a fella called Nerflock something, who wore a yellow dust coat like the one you have on right now. Weird guy. Never liked him.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
Et de là, une porte mène directement au toit. Il donne à
Ruby
l'extérieur.
could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
J'ai aussi relevé des empreintes de pas à l'étage dans le vieil atelier.
Footprints. Recent.
Récente.
What else could you make out? How recent? What size?
Elle datait d'une semaine ou deux.
That close, huh? How fortunate. I'll take a thorough look at those prints myself before I believe that call. Good news is, I'm still listening.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Vous vous souvenez de cette clé que j'ai trouvée?
I don't like guessing, Cole. No one does.
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here, with you. all the time.
Vous ne l'avez pas trouvé, mais Ruby si. C'est de cette manière qu'elle a pu grimper en haut.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
No, the ribbon was old, faded. It had been there for 20 years at least.
Elle aurait très bien pu la remettre là, à sa place après avoir terminé.
Why? This doesn't make sense. It's damn interesting, but it doesn't fit well, and you know it.
It doesn't fit well, but it fits, and he knows it.
Ok, vous avez remarqué le trail à l'intérieur sur le mur extérieur du
I've
warning?
seen the winch. I'm not blind. You saying it's part of the elevator she used to get up there?
Exact.
That's one mystery down then. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it?
Bon. A-t-on établi avec certitude que Ruby a pu accéder au toit?
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun.
Il y a une infime chance de 2% que Titus soit revenu derrière le toit. Contre le fusil ancien. Des armes comme celle-ci, il y a qu'à se baisser pour en ramasser à Martinez.
That looks antique. A Belle McGrave. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
Il y a une cave sous la librairie. Elle était cachée là, au milieu d'autres.
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
Okay, I see your point. There are guns lying around. Damn it. I thought we'd found all the old spots. Why was that still there?
We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit.
Il y avait une infime chance. Non. J'analysais la balle qui l'a tué. C'était une balle chemisée.
So...
L'homme hausse les épaules et vous des visages.
So it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby get it?
You don't know. Just be honest. Screw honest. You just showed him a breech-loading gun.
C'est pas parce que c'est rare qu'on peut pas mettre la balle dessus. L'expose simplement ce que je sais avec franchise. Vous avez raison, je jamais cette affaire. Non. Je viens de vous montrer un fusil de chargement par la culasse. N'importe quel gamin peut s'en procurer un.
A broken old broomstick is what you showed me. But point taken.
Time to really close the deal. Show them the bullet.
Voici la balle en question du 4.46 mm. La belle McGrath utilise le même calibre.
The blonde man looks at the mushroomed Deathbringer in the evidence bag and says,
Yeah, the bitch is jacketed all right. 4mm too.
Whoa.
Well, goddamn. It's not proof, but it's a possible murder weapon. Close to her. Too damn close. You have been thorough. I'll give you that.
J'ai déjà établi que Ruby passait de la drogue. Elle peut très bien avoir fait aussi du trafic d'armes.
God damn. That's just about your favorite topic, isn't it? Every fucking 5 seconds.
You were warned not to bring it up. Your best shot here is to just back out of it.
Là, bien, je ne m'aventure plus sur ce terrain si ça touche à votre précieux business.
Okay, cop. She's got connections. I could see how she could have access to a gun. That still doesn't mean she did.
That's all you needed. Doubt.
Ok, le président sur gage du coin a vendu le flingue que j'avais perdu à une femme. C'est peut-être elle.
You lost your gun?
Tellement dîner t'abasourdi, il n'en rigole même pas.
What an idiot!
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder?
Yeah.
No, you didn't. And Ruby didn't use your lost gun to
Il
kill him.
sait?
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it. You'll get a heart attack.
Moi j'ai été. Ok.
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
J'ai pas dit que j'allais prouver qu'elle détenait l'arme du crime, mais uniquement que nous avions besoin de la trouver.
I don't know, cop. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
Il y a peut-être une remise en cause de l'autorité de la vote Titus. Peut-être qu'elle l'a tué en pensant que ça la fait rentrer dans vos petits papiers. Ce n'est pas pourquoi qu'elle l'a tué, mais pourquoi a-t-elle tout dissimulé?
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Elle a peut-être simplement tout dissimulé dans son propre intérêt, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Closio wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Ok. Eugène, partons du principe que vous l'avez tué.
He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Vous préférez être jugé avec vos amis pour un léchage collectif ou seul pour avoir commis un meurtre?
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely.
Oh.
And she skipped town. This is good.
Titus, vous le voyez bien, ça colle pas. On doit lui parler. Donc, peut-être qu'elle a tué en pensant que ça allait faire rentrer dans vos petits papiers.
You had expressed, on occasion, your dislike of the mercenaries' presence in Martinez, right?
Whack someone in my district? That doesn't carry much favor with Titus Hardy. She has to know that.
Titus, vous le voyez bien, ça colle pas. On doit lui parler.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. This is the only option he cares for.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why? Pourquoi?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
Quand est-elle partie?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
De quoi avait-elle peur?
I told you. You.
De moi? Genre la MCR?
No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
And a hole in his heart. That first.
Avec le trou dans son corps.
Why not? You look about ready to do something pretty crazy because some bird fucked you over.
La vraie Seigneur, pourquoi est-ce que tout fout le camp à la simple vue de mon ombre?
It seems you have that effect, especially on women.
Il vous regarde.
You know, when I first saw you limp in here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
Qu'est-ce que Ruby vous a conté d'autre sur moi?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop.
Que je n'arrêterai pas.
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having to go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
Autre chose, n'importe quoi?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This caught Titus. This caught me. But she was too scared.
Ooh, elle avait peur, vraiment.
Scared. You should be too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject.
Vous avez une idée de l'endroit où Ruby a pu aller?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Vous êtes parti à sa recherche?
A little.
Where have you looked
De
for
l'autre côté
her?
de la côte,
More
excusez.
precisely.
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Vous pouvez me dire où je devrais commencer à regarder sur la côte?
Sure, there's some shit houses there, a cinder block town. Fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash.
Oh, intéressant.
Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Ce serait bon de le savoir, ouais.
Boyish, hair's red, dyed. She looks like a lorry man.
Ok. Vous savez ce qu'est le trafic avec les ondulantes?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies and a pale something. I don't know more.
There you have it. Pale something.
Là, ça se met à faire la discussion.
It feels like you'll get to know soon enough.
C'est pas beaucoup, mais ça fera l'affaire.
It'll have to.
Il tend la main.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material.
Vous feriez un bon flic, Titus.
When are you gonna get it through your dumb head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you were.
And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men.
Ok. Des points de talent en masse. Demandez où vous le choix. Ok, vous de ça. Donner une carte de la librairie. Utilisant. Ok, nice. Depuis tout ce temps-là, on aurait pu acheter une maudite carte.
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you?
Ouais, alors?
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clausia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
Qu'est-ce que tu veux dire?
Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash?
Bien, la balle ne vient pas forcément du toit. Elle aurait pu être tirée n'importe où, juste sur la côte.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
Tu trouves que la balle était d'une antiquité?
True. Strange how you conducted the whole advanced ballistics analysis and then hand-waved it.
Les empreintes de pied dans l'atelier du flipper ne correspondent pas aux empreintes de la drôle de semelle sur la scène du crime.
No, they didn't.
La balle était chemisée, ce genre de balle ne se trouve pas partout.
Good point. It is rather rare these days, but do continue.
Jusqu'à présent, personne n'a mentionné avoir entendu un coup de feu.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
On est fini avec ça.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now. You know that. Free as a bird on that roof. Lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me?
Bon. Peux-tu demander à elle?
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet?
Ça se passe bien, je crois.
That's very good to hear. You'll get to the bottom of this in no time, just like a detective in the stories.
Bon. Pas elle. De retour là-dedans. Il y a une place où on peut checker.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Madame, quel jeu de société vendez-vous?
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure.
Viticulture,
or perhaps you'd
wow.
like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Est-ce que j'ai des amis?
Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
Ah, je comprends votre affaire.
Friends are technically like family.
Elle fait tourner son pendentif tout en
For
réfléchissant.
playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
Respectez la pile d'accessoires pour le jeu
An
Wirral.
endless variety of source books, law books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag.
Bon.
A towering mountain of colorful...
Ok, faut que je trouve une map, right?
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. This is entirely, completely you.
Non. Bye. Plus loin? En haut peut-être? Il me semble que j'ai fouillé pas mal en haut. On va parler avec elle, peut-être qu'elle peut m'indiquer.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to crime, romance, and goodness. You were already doing good, browsing the shelves.
Vous savez quel livre vous
Don't
proposer
you
au
feel,
moins?
truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all very literary stuff with well-written prose, but you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories.
Et où peut-on s'instruire sur cette chose
The
importante?
truth is available if you just know where to look, and you have to open and free your mind to understand.
Bon.
She smiles and nods.
Bon, bye. On peut pas juste pogner les affaires.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the crime fiction. These books rate furthermore, what's more, not a single mention of all the stress that shelves filled to the...
Bye. Celle-là, je pense qu'on l'a fait aussi. Oh, ça.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Map of Martinez. This could work, maybe.
La volée, non, l'acheter.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
This large map displays ozone in the north, radiating outwards from you, the suzerain river shore, with a radius of 80 kilometers. Still, the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible.
Cette grande carte affiche les archipels et les constellés de petits points bleus disséminés sur l'infinité azurée de l'océan Sudien. La plus grande au nord-est est appelée le Caillou. Un peu plus loin au sud-est, les îles Séménines. Ozone, Laurentide, face à la mer, les archipels, les îles de l'Arcade septentrionale, de simples grains de poussière au milieu du vaste océan Sudien. Sur les bords de la carte, des couleurs se terminent en pointillés noir et blanc. Au nord-est, un aquarien est juché sur la côte nord de le Caillou, dans une librairie. C'est toi. D'accord. Puis c'est d'abord les yeux. Est-ce qu'on voit les villes de...
You can, on Caillou, Rivershore, a single black star, on Ozone, Fondelier, and Vimandu, on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are.
Okay.
Distant stars, gods.
Je sais pas ce que
but
ça
looking
nous
at them
amène,
makes
mais...
you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
Madame, pourrais-je acheter ces
I'm
cartes?
sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Pourquoi celle de Martinez coûte-t-elle si peu cher?
That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
Et que s'est-il passé?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
Ok, bon, on a la carte, guys.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right
On va tracer un itinéraire sur la grille.
Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to...
Parfait. On a enfin la map, guys. On a enfin la map. Fait que là, on est tous de ce côté-là. Ah! Ouais! Oui! Oh my god. Ça nous dit où ce qu'ils sont. Oh mon dieu. Ah, la porte barrée, c'est là-dedans? Ok. Le camion abandonné. Les haltères, c'est là où on est. On peut pas aller les faire tant qu'à être là. Affinité mécanique sur les cartes épinglées.
Several maps. The maps look old and this
Ah non,
large
pas ça.
map,
Damn it!
Laurenta, in the northeast, radiating outwards from you, the suzerain river shore, with a radius of the ocean breaks apart. Connections you have little eye. Perhaps they are the north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the river Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center. teeming to the east, rolling
C'est peut-être à cause
hillsides,
qu'on n'a pas
the
volé
Jardin,
que ça fait ça.
Stella Marie, the suburbs of San Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East.
Et à l'ouest de la rivière.
Hold on. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forburg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst.
Et Martinez.
It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock. The strip of coast next to the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore? Or is it just you? No. This is somewhere to be.
C'est ça. C'est ça qui est ça. That's it. On a la carte. On peut retourner examiner la vitre en haut. On a l'écluse en bas. Qu'on peut fermer. Vu qu'on est à côté de du truc de la carte, on va aller faire la carte tout de suite. Il y a le mur qu'on peut aller voir. À un moment donné, le mur il va bien finir par dropper quelque chose. Allez, Kim, go! On peut réexaminer, c'est ça, avec la carte.
The same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman.
Oh boy, okay.
A ray of backward motion explodes from the man's mouth, through the window to the roof outside, widening into a radius. A prime.
Maintenant que j'ai la carte, on peut extrapoler le rayon pour inclure l'ensemble de Martinez.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay.
Okay.
Let's B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Ok, examinez le point B prime, la promenade.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Ok, examinez le B prime, le Finistère.
1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
Ok, puis l'îlot.
1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be.
Okay.
The shot would have been a small miracle.
5% de chance. Heal.
There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window. Between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A, the angle would have been extreme and access to the islets is questionable.
Ok. Ok, vous pensez que le tir provient d'un emplacement plus éloigné que le toit dans la Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Des emplacements B'.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
C'est beaucoup moins probable que le scénario du toit, mais pas négligeable.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one.
Good.
It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Bon, ça c'est fait. Fait qu'il va falloir déterminer le tir en examinant ces trois-là. On peut aller voir le mur, tant qu'à être là. C'est pas énorme comme pourcentage de réussite, mais Ça prend 2 secondes à vérifier. Oh. Wait, what? Qui eux autres?
The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notices you.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now.
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
Vous êtes une patrouilleuse de la MCR?
Yes, I am.
Ok, j'enquête sur... tout va bien? Pourquoi vous ne voulez pas me parler?
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you?
Super, croiser un autre flic. Je pensais que moi et Kim, on était les seuls.
No, you're not. You're not the only cop in the world.
C'est cool, là,
Something changes in her. It's pity. Pity comes over her.
Okay, fine. Let's talk.
Et vous appartenez à quel poste?
What precinct?
Je suis content de soupirer.
Am I from? God, he doesn't know.
Fucking deranged lunatic.
Oh, wow, ok, c'est eux autres déguisés. Ah, ok, vous êtes la police avec claque, cool, moi aussi.
I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Judith.
Ouais, c'est littéralement les gars de notre poste. Une seconde, il est de la police.
Me? No. I'm just a man with sunglasses. I like wearing sunglasses inside. Sunglasses and a fucking wig.
Qu'est-ce que vous... La police fait ici?
I'm just looking out for...
You?
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
Tu es...
I just want to do my job, that's all.
Clairement qu'ils m'en recherchent. Ils veulent nous checker. C'est sûr à 100%. On avance dans l'enquête, vous avez pas le droit de me l'enlever. Pour une fois qu'on a de l'avancement. On va au mur. Ouais, il joue encore à pétanque. Il me semblait qu'il pouvait plus jouer à pétanque. Oh, par là. On pouvait défoncer une porte, là, right? C'est ça aussi. Ouais, on peut aller voir ça. La porte à défoncer est là-dedans. Plus de le voir ici. Il est plus là. Il est plus là. She's not there anymore! Joyce, vous allez laisser un mot sur le poteau. Je pars pour le village sur la côte. On se voit sur place, Joyce. Oh, ok. Fait que c'est ça le moment. Intéressant. Je me rappelle plus c'est où la porte qu'on peut péter. Hey, y'a plus de poste?
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door.
Ça c'est louche.
You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Piège demande une voix féminine, méfiante et tendue.
Do I have to open the door?
Vous percevez à nouveau des claquements de talons tandis que les pas s'avancent vers la porte. Sa voix indique qu'elle est à présent sur la
Do
dépensée.
you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
Later then, entering this door seems a physical challenge.
Ok. Je me rappelle plus c'est quelle la porte qu'on peut
This
défoncer.
door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters. Better whip out those cutters. You won't.
On va le faire. On a bien eu de la misère à le
This
faire.
door has been closed with a padlock. The shackle
sir.
snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now.
After you, detective.
Je sais pas pourquoi je veux rentrer là, mais je veux rentrer là. Une balle de 9 mm. Là, ce soir. Ok. Des livres sur la théorie critique, des monstruosités du capitalisme, etc. Des photos révolutionnaires posant avec leurs armes.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Mazov.
Pourquoi c'est le locataire? Possède-t-il un boss de Krasmazov dans sa chambre?
The white star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
Qui est ce Krasmazov?
He's known as the father of scientific communism, also known as Mazovianism. His theories about economic history greatly influenced, some would even say sparked, the anti-centennial revolution.
Le type qui crèche ici a besoin d'apprendre comment fonctionne réellement l'économie.
I suspect that's exactly what they are trying to do.
Il se penche au-dessus de la table pour inspecter le livre d'économie.
There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems.
Les révolutionnaires adorent poser avec leurs armes. Un poster flamboyant d'une étoile blanche, une vraie lithographie. Ok, ouais, c'est pas, même pas celle-là. Y'a rien d'autre à faire dedans. Je me rappelle même pas c'est quoi la porte pour elle. Ah, c'est la porte en haut, je pense. Mais pas ce balcon-ci, l'autre balcon. On va aller voir. Amène-nous cette porte-là. Au feu, tout à coup, vous sentez que la boîte est en feu. Pourquoi? Une deux. Où y avait-tu été, là? Ouais. C'est un peu loin dans ma tête, tout ça. Ça fait longtemps qu'on est passé par là, me semble. Plus rien à faire là. Well! Je sais pas où la porte en question, mais peut-être qu'on l'a même plus à faire, en fait. Comme la porte barrée, là. C'est ça, peut-être qu'on l'a même pas à faire, cette porte-là. On va aller voir en haut, là, mais je suis pas mal sûr que c'est more. À moins que ce soit celle-là. Non, pas juste gosser de même plusieurs fois. J'ai plus un pince dans mes mains. Ok, c'est une mini pince. Je pensais que c'était quelque chose de pas mal plus gros que ça. On peut même pas interagir avec une autre porte en haut. Well, this is it. On va sortir par ici en bas, ça va être plus rapide ici. Pour aller sur le mur. En fait, sur le mur, aller essayer de comprendre c'est quoi le mur, de conceptualiser le mur.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Mon Dieu. Conceptualisation, je suis pas fort là-dedans. Juste voir s'il y a quelque chose qui nous l'enlève. Parce que si oui, on va l'enlever. Pour l'instant, rien. Est-ce qu'on a quelque chose? On a ça, plus un en conceptualisation. Bon, ben, on a plus un en concept. Bon. Plus d'un en conceptualisation.
Just
déjà
an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
C'est pas bien mieux.
Yeah.
No.
Why? It's a wall. An ordinary.
Why must we stop to look at this wall every time we pass by? We have business to attend to.
Ah ouais, malheureusement, on l'a pas eu. J'aime bien celle-là. Ok, on s'en va de là. Est-ce quelque chose d'autre par là? Absolument pas. Par ici. Absolument pas. En bas? Excusez-moi. Oh, un chat dans la gorge, je sais pas pourquoi. Un petit peu d'eau du pas sucré, suffire plutôt. Les flux est par ici, l'écluse est par ici, pas les flux, l'écluse. C'est qui ces bonhommes-là?
A resting control panel with you. You grab the handle and pull the lever up.
Ça a marché.
As soon as the metal connects against the contact pins, you hear a loud clunk. Then, the water lock starts moving.
Ouais. Good for us.
All right, we can go to the coast now. Expect rugged terrain and drunks.
Ok, mais ça veut pas dire grand chose de plus, right? On peut-tu descendre là? Hey, j'avais même pas remarqué qu'il y avait ça là. Bonjour monsieur, bonjour. C'est quoi? L'électricité... tabarnouche. L'électricité bourdonne dans l'antenne radio. Peux-tu descendre? Non. On peut aller par là. Il y a une note. Oh, quoi? La circulation au-delà des portes, d'autres camions abandonnés. Ah ouais. Le panneau dit entrée interdite, quelqu'un a gribouillé une étoile à l'envers dessus. Wow. Oh, il y avait quelque chose là. Magnésium. Malheureusement, on n'a pas pogné grand chose pour se soigner au fur et à mesure qu'on a avancé, right? Je sais même pas où on est pour être là. Un boîte officiel qui alimente le pylône radio au-dessus de vous. Qui sait peut-être qu'il y a quelque chose à l'intérieur. Droit devant, vous voyez des défenses en béton vieilles de plusieurs décennies. Les enfants sont en train de jouer dessus. Il y a des traces de pneus aussi qu'on n'a pas vérifié depuis longtemps. Quelqu'un a cassé la clôture et a coupé le fil barbelé. What? Je sais même pas qu'est-ce que je fais là pour être là. Le balancement n'est plus là. L'endroit est désert depuis longtemps.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation everywhere. Yet someone used to live here, laugh here. Thought it was a good idea to build a swing.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé ici?
In this yard?
Le lieutenant regarde le petit bâtiment, une volée de rondelles grises s'envole au loin.
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a block obscure, for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago.
Donc, ce côté de laquelle est un bloc obscur.
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house.
Peut-être qu'ils ont-ils laissé quelque chose d'utile derrière eux?
Yes. For you to scavenge like a post-apocalyptic scavenger who collects trash and errant magnesium blisters.
Ouais, il vous adresse à ce fatigué.
It's not meant as nagging.
We should move. I don't think our suspect is in this particular yard. No place to hide. And besides, it's too close to...
Ok, trop proche de Martinez, d'accord. Mais il y a de l'argent. Il y a de l'argent. Le bâtiment de 4 étages bloque le vent dans cette tour. Le graffiti dit « Gloire à nos fantômes ». Quelqu'un a caché sa collection de musique sous la bâche. Bande magnétique, la plus petite église de Saint-Saëns. Est-ce qu'on a notre
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds you know, this is the one.
C'est la bonne chanson pour le karaoké!
The one you trust your room to that Claudia told you about. Perform it. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
Je pourrais chanter ça au karaoké, je me sens capable.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like a million times.
Yes!
And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
Quoi donc?
Gods. You have to convince God to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. The lieutenant watches you pack up the boombox. He doesn't say anything.
D'accord. Yeah! Fait qu'on pouvait pas avant le 3e jour. C'est quand même fou. C'est ça l'affaire, c'est que je savais pas qu'il y avait des trucs qui étaient reliés au temps dans le jeu. Sinon, je me serais pas autant attardé à certains éléments, pour vrai. Il y a des traces de tire qui vont jusqu'à très loin. Oh, oh, oh. Attendez un peu. Vous entendez un grincement, c'est celui d'un essieu brisé. Il y a un char, là. Un bidon d'essence cabossé. Qu'est-ce qu'il fait là, ce char-là? Une bouteille complètement vidée de son alcool et prisonnière dans la glace.
A banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. It must be cold and lonely down there.
J'imagine.
Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This is where they were leading.
What? C'est là qu'il menait les traces partant de la place?
It appears to be so.
La suite du lieutenant, lui, d'une façon étrange, alors qu'il respecte l'épave. Enquêtons!
I agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden, sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the
Trouver le chauffeur sans tête mouche, check-moi ça.
dark, cold water.
De l'alcool, pis tout.
Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea.
Passez votre main sur le métal froid.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists.
Quel est le constructeur de cette automotrice? Il y a un logo.
The logo is too deep in the murky water.
Je peux pas savoir.
You can't make it out.
Oh no!
But you do see a monkfish float by.
Fait combien de temps qu'elle est là?
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
Ça sonne trop comme nous autres. Que doit-on faire?
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Ça va prendre combien de temps avant que la marée de basse n'arrive?
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
Vous asseoir sur la balançoire et attendre que la marée se retire. Wow!
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea.
Attendez, ce véhicule est vraiment très bleu?
Yes, it does.
Quelle est la petite chose bleue que vous préférez?
Let me think about it.
Ok. Siffler une mélodie, ça va être un fel.
The tune on your lips forms a strange yet undeniably beautiful contrast with the surrounding bleakness. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance, then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher pitched and slightly more melodic trill. The wind blows. In the distance, behind the church, some vagrants are having an argument over a bag of tear they found in the reeds. Further away, a flock of seagulls lands. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed.
Ok. Alors, votre père était aussi, vous savez...
My dad and mom are both half Seolite.
Oh, tous les deux?
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Si vous devriez choisir un camp entre les grévistes ou les sociétés de transport, qui choisirez-vous?
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
Je comprends, vous dites que vous êtes du côté du syndicat, mais si quelqu'un vous mettait un pistolet sur la tempe...
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Qu'est-ce que j'ai eu comme truc? Ah, ok. Vous voyez la marque maintenant?
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It's a Capri, Model 40.
It
is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people, you know, those kinds of people.
C'est un numéro sur le côté?
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
Ah, 41, c'est le rang dans la hiérarchie des courses urbaines. Tommy 41, animateur. On dirait que les... Ah, Seigneur, non.
I'm sorry, Harry. I'm so sorry.
41. Precinct 41. A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you. You feel like you're about to faint and fall off the swing.
C'était sûr, c'était à nous
Your
autres.
hands get clammy, and the air tastes sour to breathe. Oh God, Harry. Oh God, Harry. What did you do? No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Oh mon Dieu, c'est moi. J'ai conduit ma voiture dans la mer.
I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you drove your police motor carriage into the sea after you jumped across the canal.
Ok. L'insigne est maintenant ça.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything. There is also a fourth thing you've lost.
Une quatrième chose?
More precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined.
Ah, les choses
Lost forever.
Si bien, on siffle
You
joyeusement.
can still whistle. Besides, the night is always darkest before the dawn. At least we have a pretty good suspect. If we found your motor carriage in the sea, maybe we'll find her too.
Ok, je peux toujours la
That
réparer.
is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. It'll be cheaper to buy a new one.
Okay.
Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this.
C'est un vrai désastre.
Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema.
Ils ne vont pas me reprendre après ça, n'est-ce pas?
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
People, yes, but not you.
Au moins, je peux voir ce qu'il y a dedans maintenant.
Yes, let's go take a look.
Date of birth generator.
Okay.
You were born in the year 07, in the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago.
On a 44
You
ans!
are 44 years old.
On a
The
44
bloating
ans!
might never leave your face, but beneath it, you still have some years. You still have some hope.
Logique. Le seuil d'apprentissage passe à 4, difficulté moins 1 à tous les lancers passifs. Nice! Good, good, good! Je sais pas, Bon, on n'ira pas sur rien d'autre là-dessus, là. Pour être franc, je veux pas commencer à me badrer de tout ça en plus. La logique, elle est où? Elle est là. Fait que ça, tu peux déverrouiller d'autres affaires en ayant des pensées de même. C'est vraiment cool comme système. Une trace de pas. Ah, mon insigne! Oh ouais. La veste du commandant de la... Oh mon dieu, ils peuvent bien rire de moi. Ils peuvent bien rire de moi. Oh wow. Interagir avec. Insigne LTN de 2G, ok.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
J'ai retrouvé mon insigne!
At least something good came out of all this.
Lieutenant observe les signes entre vos mains. Examinez les signes.
Encased between two durable plastic
peut-être savoir notre
sheets
nom.
is a bluish card
On
with
sait que c'est
lines
Harry.
of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and, in the lower right corner, your precinct.
Inspectez la photo.
The man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that. Good choice. A newer photo would look...
Effectivement.
8,
quand ça
maybe
date.
10 years.
Hi.
The guy in the picture is rather good-looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns.
Mais pourquoi fait-il un clin d'œil?
What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it did on you. It looks like you had quite the charming face way back then. Your hair is brown and slightly curly. Your eyes seem more clear somehow. The lack of alcohol swelling is a bonus, though there's a pinch of that in your cheeks already. Don't be fooled. The bad times have already begun. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light.
Bon, notre nom.
You see lines of information on it.
Harrier. That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't.
Une seconde, c'est quoi ce prénom Harrier?
It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times. Like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
It's meant to keep you safe from bullets, hunger, shrapnel, kidnappings, and worse.
Mais je n'ai pas envie d'être Harrier Dubois.
Why? It's a cool name. I like it. Besides, you're Harry anyway. No one's ever called Harrier.
He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you officer when he's angry with you, and detective when he's not. The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light.
Okay.
You see lines of information.
Rang L, lieutenant 2, JFR, je sais pas.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
Ok, c'est quoi un lieutenant W Freighter?
A lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant.
Et lieutenant W Freighter?
The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're W Freighter.
J'ai décliné?
There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank. In your case, lieutenant.
Heavy-duty case-solving machine.
Ok, c'est quoi un décomptage?
Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol Citizens Militia. It means counting down to twos.
Jusqu'à 2 robots.
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it,
Okay.
except for a few kings.
Comment savoir? Des cas particuliers?
Kings like satellite officers and the additionally a freighter rank I already explained.
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
Donc, vous avez supporté toutes mes conneries parce que je suis votre supérieur?
No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
He trusts you, for now. Try not to spoil it. Such a small yet precious thing. Expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly in amber. It
Le numéro de
reads,
série.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
La date de mission, 7 novembre 50.
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
The pain in your chest tells you were working yourself to death to earn that rank. The case created a lot of edge you have to take off. The death march really gets us going. A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you. Of that you are sure.
I remember that time. That was a good time. We had a good work-drink balance going. What happened, man? Pump it up!
Poste 41?
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor. A lot of asphalt. The 41st is...
Quoi?
It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
Oh no.
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiayeva. And you? Is it an honor to work with you? Don't ask him, ask yourself. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate.
On repose l'insigne. On en a assez vu. Good, fait qu'on a tous les trucs, ça c'est vraiment cool. Il y a des traces de pas, c'est ça qui me gueule depuis tantôt. L'empreinte de pas dans la neige, c'est loin de l'accident. Bateau. Bateau dissimulé sous la bâche d'une porte. Oh, on va rentrer là. Je sais pas qu'est-ce qu'il y a là, mais... Une carte postale. Un nœud papillon. Plus 2 en ordre dramatique. Vous apercevez une chaise rouge foncée baignée par la faible lueur de la pièce. Ok, fine. Hey! On peut enlever la cravate, guys! Qu'est-ce de penser à ça? Bye la cravate! J'en veux plus de ta cravate. Elle fait juste me tuer à chaque fois que je fais une niaiserie. Donc à travers le verre cassé, vous apercevez des étagères poussiéreuses et une chaise oubliée. Un autre bateau. La partie inférieure de la coque a été récemment coordonnée. Voyage rapide. Wait, what? Ok, wow. Allez-vous-en. Ok, on vient d'atterrir dans une nouvelle ville. Tout un épisode, encore plein de rebondissements, ce jeu-là ne finit pas de surprendre. On a une nouvelle suspecte, Ruby est notre suspect numéro 1 maintenant. Elle s'est enfuie, Titus la protégeait, pensait pas qu'elle était là tout ça, même s'il y avait ses doutes. Donc commence à se rapprocher un peu plus de la vérité en arrière de tout ça. Est-ce que notre fameuse, mon dieu, je me rappelle déjà plus de son nom, la fille sur le toit, la petite blondinette sur le toit, est vraiment vraie dans tout ça, est vraiment honnête dans tout ça? Est-ce qu'elle nous cache encore des choses? Ça se peut fort bien, mais ça reste à découvrir. Donc, si vous aimez ce que vous avez vu et que vous voulez rejoindre la communauté Twitch, le lien va être juste ici. Sinon, vous pouvez toujours le retrouver dans la description de cette vidéo. Je vous souhaite une excellente fin de journée ou une excellente fin de soirée, tout dépendant de ce qui s'applique à vous. Prenez soin de vous et à la prochaine les amis. Bye bye.